Hey, it's Trent. Fly low, don't die. Come be my wingman and join in the adventure. Now available in the Microsoft Flight Simulator Marketplace on PC and Xbox.
What's up, Av Geeks and STOL Freaks? How are you guys doing today at the FSEXPO? We got National eSTOL qualifiers going on today, so we're going to be watching people try to qualify. And if you do qualify, you get a chance to win a Tobii Eye Tracker 5. Whether you do good or whether you do bad, it doesn't matter. The point is just to try it and see. You know, we are in Vegas, so it could be luck, it could be skill. What do you know?
Yeah, that's right.
I'm Austin Parker, also known as Burstix TV on Twitch.tv. And Cam?
And I'm Cam Walton. I am one of the photographers for National STOL, sitting here in Las Vegas in the Rio with Burstix TV.
Yes. So what do we got? Looks like we have a little view of Vegas here. That's gorgeous. Is that real life or is that in the sim?
It's always real life. It's never sim.
Oh, okay. So that must be the Bellagio there. We were actually there last night. We got to see the. You and I were there.
Yeah, for the water
got to see
show.
those fountains. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So we've had quite a few people try already. We had a big slew of people trying in the morning, or just a little bit ago. I got done helping people navigate through doing the eSTOL qualifier. And some people did really good. Some people, tried their best and didn't do the best. But that's okay. The point is you guys just try it out and have fun and enjoy yourself today. So look at that. We got Vinny there helping out some people. We got the Got Friends station over here. These guys are all trying out some eSTOL today on the new scenery, which, by the way, is released in the Flight Sim store. So you can just go right in the Microsoft Flight Simulator store. And you'll see in the new sceneries there's Furnace Creek. It's only $4.99, and it is the official Flight Sim Expo scenery for National eSTOL. But it's been real busy here today. There is booths all over the place. We just so happen to be in the corner here next to Got Friends, next to the concession stands. It might be one of the best spots in the house.
I think it's definitely one of the best spots in the house. But I'm just a foodie over here.
Yeah, I wonder what they got over there. They got any brats or anything like that? Like ballpark, like stadium food at all? I feel like that's what they would have here.
I feel like that's what convention food would be. Some ballpark food, maybe some cheeky hors d'oeuvres.
Ooh, well, yeah, this place is a little fancier, so they might actually have some nice.
Yeah. We've had a lot of traffic.
Yeah.
Ranging from real pilots to sim pilots from all over the place.
Yeah.
I talked to some guys from Canada not too long ago.
Yeah, we've had people, and I mean, what's been kind of crazy for me is I'm just like a small time streamer on Twitch. And so meeting all these other streamers that I watch, and it's almost like, I get a little starstruck meeting everybody here at the expo. And people have come up to me, and it's like I don't feel like I'm, anything crazy or like anything like that as far as like a star. But some people are excited to meet me, which is like really humbling. It's really cool. So it looks like we have someone coming up to the guy sitting down here to the left. He's going to be trying out the 152. His name is Patrick.
Let's go, Patrick.
Yeah, Patrick is gonna tear down the house with the 152. Now this is a 152 is a nose wheel aircraft. A lot of time in the eSTOL, you notice people doing, they want to fly the tail draggers. But I'll tell you what, the nose gear, the aircraft with nose gear configuration, they are sometimes the best in STOL. You look at someone like Justin Tisdale from the real world, who has made a lot of progress over, how long has he been doing STOL for? Like a year?
Like a year, yeah.
And now he's coming and getting second, first, third places, stuff like this.
Yeah.
And he's flying that 701 or 750 actually. You think, I guess you think Bush and you think, oh, tail dragger, but the 152s of the world or the 701s or the 750s, you don't have to worry about nosing over as much in something like that. Now, a nose over might be a little disorienting in something like that because if you do, you're going to one side or the other. But so we have Patrick in the 152. He's taxiing up. He looks like he knows what he's doing. He looks like a pro out there.
Oh, yeah, he's got good brake control. Let's go.
Beautiful view of the strip. And this is out at Furnace Creek. Now, Furnace Creek is a real airport somewhere near here. I wonder how far away. It looks like about an hour west of where we're sitting physically at the expo in Death Valley. And this spot here is actually below sea level. So it was even in the simulator, you don't find a lot of places that are below sea level. So when I was out here, I was like, why is it saying negative 256? I was like, is my altimeter wrong? And I'm resetting the altimeter, but no, it was just that it is below sea level. All right, so for those of you that are new to STOL, basically what the goal is you want to pull up to the line, okay, and whether you're flying a tail dragger or an aircraft with a nose wheel, you want to get the main gear, which is going to be your biggest set of gear. You want to get that set on the starting line, right? And you face in the direction of the wind. See, there's a really good example of it here. A little bit too far forward, but no big deal. Now, everybody that's here live trying it, they're not on their home simulator. So if they're a little bit like me, I get it on anything else other than my home simulator, and you got to get a little practice with it first. Oh, yeah. But so the goal is to get your tires on the line, okay? Then you start mostly into the wind. Sometimes you might have a bad crosswind, but you want to start into the wind and take off as short as you can, and then come around. You do a right pattern, and you come back around and try to land over the line in the same exact spot that you took off in the shortest two distances. You add those distances up, and there is your score. I can see out in the sky there, we got Brown Dog. Brown Dog is one of our online pilots. He's been flying with us for about 3 events, and he was brand new to it, I think 3 or 4 events ago. He flies the Gottfried's Wilga, which is one of my favorite aircraft in the sim. And we still got to get you into the Wilga. I'm so excited to fly with you, though, in the sim. So you've done some flying in Microsoft Flight Sim, but you said you're pretty mobile, so.
Yeah. I've done very, very light. I've probably gotten an hour in the game.
Yeah.
An hour or 2.
Well, we'll change that in no time.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so Patrick is lined up in the 152. Getting ready for takeoff. Yeah, so we have about, there goes Patrick. He's taking off. Let's see how short he can get that. Just over the 100-foot line there. Just over 300 foot there. So we can get off the ground. Looks like you might have gotten off the ground before the 600-foot mark. Now that 152, that's a base Microsoft Flight Simulator aircraft, and sometimes those are the easiest things to fly because they're simple,
Great training aircraft.
Yes. But it doesn't have a ton of extra power, so you don't expect to see a Steve Henry 10-foot takeoff or anything like that. But nonetheless, getting off the ground safely, following the pattern, really if you're here at the venue, it's all about trying it out and, seeing if you like it. And, of course, I know if you do it, you're going to like it because it's what happened to me. I tried it and loved it.
And we can see Patrick looking around in the cockpit right now, and outside of the cockpit. Is he using any type of, headset or anything special with his eyes?
Yeah, so one of the sponsors of this particular event with National eSTOL is Tobii Eye Tracking. So you guys might have noticed if you're at the event or if you're watching it on YouTube, you might have noticed Tobii is spoke yesterday at the Friday seminar, and so they do a lot of people that have eye tracking. They started out with an eye tracker that maybe you have to put something on your head, or you have to set up all these different programs. Well, Tobii is really simple. I mean, you plug the Tobii in, it automatically downloads and updates everything you need, and then that's it. You just set up 2 buttons, you set up 2 bindings, and then now you have wire-free head tracking. So, and it's very smooth. I've used OpenTrack, I've used some of the other trackers, and Tobii, I've had Tobii for almost a year and a half now, and I would not use anything else. And I'm not a VR guy, so. I think we had someone coming in practicing there in the Wilga. So big shout out to our camera guys. They're drone operators, right? They don't do the cameras like you and I would do at a normal event, but it looks like we have DeWert and Red Heron. It should be. Those are our normal camera guys. Really nice approach there. Giving up a little bit here. Floating a little bit, but getting down. There we go. Gets it down.
And as Ryan will say during the competitions, these landings aren't for comfort. So
no,
I mean,
definitely not.
That might be a little bit past comfort right there, but generally we're trying to. We do have a chance to do it again. So
yeah, definitely have a chance to go around again. Look at that. I think Patrick's turning around. He's going to try it again. Yeah, so guys, if you're new to eSTOL and you've never done anything like it before, well, it's really simple. All you do is, if you sign up and you do the qualifier, first thing you get entered to win a Tobii Eye Tracker 5. So that's really cool. You don't even have to do good. You just, if you do the qualifier, you get you could win a Tobii Eye Tracker 5. So that's amazing. But it's pretty simple. I mean, you pick a plane. We have a list of planes that you can pick from. You pick a plane, and then you go from from the sign up over to Vinny. Vinny will explain to you a couple simple rules, but you just start on the line and see how short you can take off. You go around a short pattern, and you come back in and you land on the line and see how short you can land. And then those scores will be added up. If you do really well, you'll be able to come back tomorrow and compete for even more giveaways. Looks like Patrick is lining up again, getting ready for takeoff again. This one is probably going to be even better than this first one. We got just past the 100-foot mark, just past the 300 foot just now. And popped them flaps. And so one thing I noticed, it doesn't look like the flaps were used. And so one thing that can help you really take off the ground quick, in STOL flying and bush flying in general, typically people are going to start with their flaps completely, flaps all the way up, and then once they get near flying speed, they will then go ahead and drop as many flaps as they can. But I think in the 152, the flaps are electronic, so they don't come down as fast,
Yeah, they can be electronic or manual, I believe, but I think for the most part they are going to be electronic. So it will take some time for them to come down.
But still a great takeoff. I mean, what I noticed about Patrick's takeoff was it was very stable, very very straight down the runway, which is good because you see the safety. Now we try to keep it safe in the flight sim just as we would in the real world. We don't like to see a bunch of unsafe flying. This competition here, we mirror it from exactly what we do in real life. So if you see this trailer here, National STOL, the real life competition, we go around the country. And we pull into an airport with this same trailer right here, and we set up a STOL field in a matter of a day and a half or so. We run through, a practice day. We run through a competition day, and the pilots, they win, they lose, they they do their thing, but then we tear it down and then we're on to the next just like that.
Yeah.
So
Move on
it's
to the next site.
we don't usually bring the trailer to the eSTOL competitions, but I don't know whose idea this was, but somebody brought the trailer in here.
It's pretty awesome, though. I'm glad to see it.
But yeah, this is it's a mobile broadcast center, so I mean it's really so actually, if you look at the broadcast right now, you'll see the trailer we have it in the simulator, so that's in our this scenery is in the official Microsoft Flight Sim store. You can pick it up. It's called Furnace Creek, but that there is the actual trailer that you're seeing us sitting in now, and it was modeled by our scenery developer Anov. So Patrick is coming in to land from his second attempt
Very
here.
Nice. Yeah,
Really
very nice,
stable.
approach.
I need to get some tips from this guy on how to be more stable while I fly, because I am not that stable when I fly. Looking good, looking wonderful. You got the mountains in the background. Flaps in.
Coming down.
There we go, slowing down. And a little bit of a scratch. But, again, that stability, I need to get this guy's Discord handle so I can figure out how he flies as straight as he does, because that is wonderful, especially if you're not on your own setup. So he does get stopped. I think that was about the 100-foot mark. Hey, look at that. We got Willie and Kando sitting there. Yo, Willie and Kando, I think they're on the broadcast right now. They don't even know it, though. Two great guys there, Twitch streamers, part of the Got Friends team. All right, so Vinny's working hard. He's getting everybody set up. We have a couple more guys here. Now, I think Patrick is he still there? Yeah, Patrick is still there. So we actually have the booths full right now. Looks like an Got Friends Wilga flying by, doing a go-around. So, anyway, so we were talking earlier about, you getting into the flight sim and stuff like that.
Yep.
And we were talking about, what planes would you get, if you wanted to start getting into eSTOL or you want to start getting into bush flying. Well, I told Cam, there's a couple of developers that make really good stuff for eSTOL or bush flying. And, first one is going to be Got Friends. They have aircraft on got-friends.com/burstix. That's my Twitch partner code with them, so feel free to use that. But got-friends.com, you can get their Wilga. They have Double Ender, which is Double Ender's like, I don't know, it's one of those planes that you look at it and you might think, oh, that's really, I don't know about that thing, but when you get in it and you fly it and you see the detail and the work that they put into it, it's actually really amazing. But it has 2 engines, 2 props, 2 Airmaster, prop controllers, and so you get used to working those together. And whether you have, single throttle for your flight sim or you have, 2 throttles, you can work it whatever way, use your mouse and you change the Airmaster props and stuff like that. But I actually bought a $360 WinWing dual throttle just for that $19 aircraft. So, but I don't care. I loved it so much, So it's crazy when a $19 aircraft from a great developer can be that good that you spend $360 on a dual throttle just to fly it. Ooh, the National eSTOL livery in the Wilga. That's looking good.
Oh, yeah, that looks great.
Our senior developer, Anov, made that livery. And the livery there for the Wilga is free. It's on flightsim.to if you guys want to grab it. So now whoever that was, either they know what they're doing or that's got to be one of our online pilots. I'm thinking. If that's can't see the name tag though.
Is that Mark Hawkins?
Mark Hawkins. That's Barracus. He does all our graphics and stuff. He's from England.
Nice.
That's one of the other things about the flight simulator that I never realized. In whether it's in I do a live stream with group flights, and we have a lot of different people from all over the world. And I guess until I started doing flight sim, I never realized how wide the flight sim community was. So I mean, I have just Anov, our scenery developer. He's in Switzerland, and coolest dude. He does a great job, but it's if it wasn't for Flight Sim, I don't think I would have had a friend in Switzerland,
That's awesome.
Aviation can really bring people together, though. I mean, how many people have you met in your real life aviation that,
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, we're here because of that. You and I both,
I mean, like, my friends group has exploded. So it's gone from what it was before aviation, or at least before I got into aviation, to what it is now.
Yeah.
I mean, there's way too many people to shout out. Looks like.
I think that's
like we're on the
Patrick.
go.
Patrick's going to town. I
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Keep going, Patrick. See if we can get it off before. There he goes.
All
Before
right.
600 feet. That's great. He's making progress. That's what I love to see. But what I really like about the National STOL, so National STOL here, this trailer that you guys see out there, these guys do real life STOL competitions around the country, and you and I have both taken part in those competitions. Have you ever competed in one?
No, I have not yet. That's coming.
Yeah.
Do that in the Aranca Champ that I have.
Yeah,
back
all
in
right.
Arkansas. We'll see what happens with that, but yeah.
What I love about it, though, is I've flown in real life, but it's been a really long time. I used to fly a helicopter. I only have 26 hours, and then I never finished. There's a lot more to that, but not to bore everybody. But the reason I'm here is because we melted these two worlds together. So you're from the real aviation, community, and I'm from more of the sim community. But we're both sitting here and friends and talking as equals, which I love that about National STOL, because they don't have oh, you guys are simmers, you know what I mean? They love it. They're here, they drove the trailer all the way here to come support the flight simulator stuff. And we really want to melt those two worlds together and bring people from, real aviation that haven't flown in the sim too much, and bring them in to show them how beautiful the simulators have gotten nowadays. And then also the other way around, we have pilots that are in our regular pilot group that are, in pilot training right now, and that group is wide, from people that may never fly due to issues where they might not be able to get their license, to people who are currently in flight school right now, but they all love the eSTOL competition the same.
Absolutely.
And they get really crazy about it too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And that's what's cool is,
So Pat's coming in to land, but I want to show you guys, we do have a merch table over there, and if you want to get one of the National eSTOL shirts, they are beautiful. They were actually done by one of our pilots. So Barricus from England, we were talking about him a little while ago. These are for the expo, and then on the back it has all of our eSTOL competitions throughout the season, because this is a series, so the pilots compete for points throughout the season. I don't know who's the leader. I wonder if we can get some information on who's the leader of this season. But yeah, so you guys can pick up some merch over there. We have hats. There's a big straw hat if you want to look really cool at the convention. Be the only one with one of those straw hats.
One of my favorites.
If somebody doesn't buy it, I'm going to take it. Just don't tell anybody though.
It looks like Patrick came in.
Oh, let's see, how did Patrick do on?
We had somebody holding up a sign.
Yeah, actually, that's the scenery developer. So he made the scenery, but he brought in a bunch of people from the community. So if you actually take a look at the Furnace Creek, everybody that you see in there, they're not just some random character that was generated. They're actually all people from our community.
Okay.
So whether it's a Red Heron or Anov holding a sign saying "Thanks, Jonks," so that's kind of a story for another time, but Jonks was a big help. Jonks from Got Friends was a big help in getting that scenery into the store. So
We should get them to make the people who show up to Oshkosh and rate people's landings on Sunday.
Oh really?
Oh yeah.
They do that?
Yeah, there's a line of people that stand on the crowd line, and they'll have the signs
9,
with the numbers
10.
on them. Oh yeah.
Do they have a DNF, did not finish, or do not qualify?
I think a 0 is as bad as you want to see in front of all your pilot buddies, and then people who you're about to meet. Especially if you have an accident. You don't want to see that, but
yeah,
we have seen those happen.
Yeah, and that's something that, unfortunately it does happen. But if you practice enough in the simulator, there is a lot. Actually, what was really interesting, there's a lot of people that are here at the expo that are talking about, saving money, saving time in real life pilot training by getting a really good, entrance or to learn how to fly in the flight simulator, whatever flight simulator that may be, they're all really good at this point.
Yeah.
I like Microsoft Flight Simulator the best because, in my opinion, it's the most beautiful. That's why we choose to do the eSTOL in Microsoft Flight Sim.
Absolutely.
But, you could save a lot of time, I think, by I feel like right now, I've never flown fixed wing. I've flown helicopter, but never fixed wing. I feel like right now, if I needed to, just from what I've learned in the flight simulator, I could compete and beat Justin Tisdale in a STOL competition in real life. If I needed to. End of the world type of situation.
I would feel safe with you at least doing the checklist.
Right, yes. Justin, I'm just joking. I don't want him coming at me, you know what I mean? No, Justin's one of the nicest guys. He's one of the real life competitors, flies a Zenith 750. Okay, so who do we have up here? It looks like, is this Aaron? Nope, let's see here. I'm not sure who was in that X Cub right there. So it looks like we have another 152. So computer number 2, we don't have a name on him, but he's the guy there in the blue shirt. And it looks like he was in the X Cub. He looks focused. Kind of looks like he knows what he's doing too.
I think so. I think he came out here to win. So
the good thing is, though, you don't even have to do good. If you do the qualifier, you can win the Toby.
Oh yeah.
And I'll tell you what, I've had the Toby since it was actually recommended to me by Ucandu. And the first night I went on stream, I found out about this whole Twitch group flight universe that I didn't know existed. Now I'm a big part of that. Computer number 2, by the way, his name is Philippe, and this is at a 394-foot takeoff. So that's great. It's pretty good in the X Cub. I don't think there's a lot of wind out there today, too. Do we have any numbers on the wind? So what's interesting, too, is that the wind. So the wind is calm, but if you were to go out to this strip in the real world, which is not too far from here, it's in Death Valley, you'd find the same wind because Microsoft Flight Simulator actually has realistic data that's pulled from real-time weather. But anyway, so what I was saying as far as this whole group flight world, well, I found it on Twitch one day. I was like, I didn't even know this whole flight simulator, group flight, bush flying stuff existed. And so somebody recommended the Toby to me, and I bought that before really I had any other good flight sim gear. I was just rocking the most basic stuff, but I got that Toby, and I love it. I mean, I wouldn't trade it. That's probably one of my number one things I would never get rid of in my flight sim setup if I had to get rid of something.
I do want to do a shout out to, I believe that was Red Barn Modeling, that said that he passed his airframe written.
Red Baron, yes.
Red Baron. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Red Baron's one of our pilots. So where do you see this at? He said he
right here. It's top of the thing.
Ah, there we go. Red Baron Modeling.
What's up, man?
Pass.
Heck yeah. We need mechanics. I mean, that's fantastic that you passed your airframe. I want to do the exact same because I have a tube and fabric aircraft, and there's not a lot of guys that can work on tube and fabric aircraft, or at least competent to work on tube and fabric aircraft. So that's what we want to do.
So we got Philippe here on final in the X Cub. He's coming in real steady, he's slowing it down. Now the goal for him is he wants to land just over the line and then get stopped in the shortest amount of space.
Got a little bounce.
So came in a little bit fast with a little bounce.
A little bit extra energy.
But he still gets it stopped.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. All that energy just dissipated real quick. So, for him to improve that a little bit, what would you say would be something that he could do to improve that and get that even shorter a little bit based on just what you saw from that run there?
Just a little bit slower approach. Probably come in from a little bit higher. He's got flaps, so it's not a flapless aircraft, so he won't have to slip it in too hard, but come in a little bit higher, a little bit slower. And dissipate some of that energy that way that it's more directed downwards than forwards. Yeah.
Before getting onto the ground.
All right.
So Pat's coming in again. I love it. I love seeing Pat. He's going around and around, and I love that because that's what I did when I first started this stuff. And, I got to get somebody. I think it was Eric said he would cast for me at one of these next events so I can compete. I might just do it. So you and Eric, maybe the next event, we'll see. We'll see if you guys are available. But I would love to compete at least once just for fun. I won't take a prize or anything. You know what I mean? I'll give it away, but. So I think that Philippe is now, he's done, or not, Philippe, I think Philippe, that was his first try, but Patrick, I think, has done 3. And it looks like we've seen improvement on all 3 of them. So look at that sign. That's the FSEXPO sign in the scenery. That's the handiwork of Anov. Ooh, we have the Got Cheese livery. The Got Cheese. This guy right here is from. As long as the livery is showing up correct, I know whose livery that is. Zacky Wacky. He goes by that on the internet, but he is from Wisconsin. So whether that's him piloting it or not, that's the Got Cheese livery. And I think actually Got Friends made that livery for one of our pilots. So shout out to them as well.
He's also one of our volunteers, is what I'm hearing.
Oh yeah, one of the volunteers.
All right, got another NX Cup.
Oh, he volunteered for one of the real-life competitions over at Hartford. Okay.
Yeah.
So Hartford, Wisconsin. So it looks like Philippe is up on his second attempt here. That was. I think that was a better takeoff than the first one. Came up a little quicker. Got 80K in the virtual 80K anyway, looking over the competition, making sure everything is going all right. Big shout out to Vinny out there on the floor, dealing with all the learning. Can-do, look at that can-do right there. He's so focused, he doesn't even know what's going on. He's on camera right now, and he's in his zone.
Yeah, and that's actually, he's giving instruction to Alex.
So Kando is a real life pilot as well, and now I'm pretty sure he just passed his check ride for his PPL.
Oh, nice. Heck
or he did. Yeah, he did. We're getting actually some input from the crowd, from Willie, that Kando just passed. So Kando's out here, he's teaching people, taking his real life experience, his sim experience, and showing people different things about.
Yeah.
But Alex, I think Alex knows how to fly what is that? Like F-16s, F-18s, F-4s, something like that.
No, he worked on F-18s, I believe.
Oh, okay. So he's a mechanic.
Yeah.
In the Navy or?
I believe so, Marines.
Marines. Okay.
But he's also part of the Patriot Air Park that we were just at last month, I believe.
So Arklahoma?
Arklahoma. Yep. Awesome. Had great weather, had great food.
You were out there. I watched you cast part of that. Yeah. Was it? I think it was pretty windy, wasn't it? Or was it the practice that was windy before that?
The practice was pretty windy, and then there were storms that moved in and pretty much screwed up all the weather. But we had a good time. We had great food. My mom cooked.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Does she live nearby, or did she just come and cook,
Yeah, we live about 2 hours away in Little Rock, so that was closer to Fort Smith, and we made the trip out, and she cooked for everybody, and
that's
it was
awesome.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't beat mom's food.
Oh, yeah, especially she's a culinary student, just graduated, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so now she's
cool.
Chef Brenda.
So does she she have her own catering business, or she work somewhere, or?
Not yet. She just graduated, so we're all working on that. I'm trying to encourage her to open a restaurant.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's really cool.
Probably an airport restaurant somewhere.
All right. What's her favorite kind of cuisine to cook?
Everything.
Everything?
All kinds of crazy stuff.
Well, congrats to mom for getting that done and going to college and getting it done. My mom actually went to college. She had us, and then she didn't go to college when we were kids because she wanted to take care of us and stuff like that. But went to college afterwards, and it was cool to see her graduate and do what she wanted to do. But unfortunately, she had us to deal with at that time, so she couldn't really go to college that easy while we were young. I think we were too tough on her. So we have somebody going to be taxiing up here in the Kit Fox. Now, that's I'm not sure what stage of Kit Fox that is. It's hard to tell what's under the cover of the engine, but there is a few different.
Model 7 maybe.
It's a Series 5, but
okay.
That's the Parallel 42 Series 5 Kit Fox.
Okay.
But the Series 5 Kit Fox has a low and slow. It has a regular 915, has a Stage 1, a Stage 2, and now a competition variant. That's actually got the engine cover off, so it's really kind of like one of the Highlanders that you would see. Okay, so Philippe.
Coming in with the NX. All right, he's over the line.
Looks like he's going to do a go-around, which is just fine if you need that. Just like in real life, you know, if you feel like you need to go around, they always support people going around for safety.
Probably came in with a little bit extra energy, a nice big bounce.
I don't know if I'm not sure if he hit. I'm not sure if he touched the ground or not.
Okay.
Hey, is that Planet Neutral out there? Planet Neutral? How the heck are you, my man?
Should I figure out if it was weird to interrupt this?
No, you're good. It's not an interruption when it's Planet Neutral.
I commented in your chat. I'm like, is it weird to comment if I'm standing right in front of you?
No. Awesome. Hey, we'll talk soon.
Yeah, I'm wandering out. Okay.
All right. That's cool. That's the one thing about the expo that I was like excited for, but like also kind of nervous because I was like, well, what if I don't recognize someone from their stream? But so far, I've been like 100% with everybody that I've noticed here at the expo that I actually know what their face looks like. I've been like good. I have a few that I'm like, oh, I didn't know, but I haven't seen their face yet. But then putting a face to the name at the FSEXPO is amazing. And I've never been to an FSEXPO. This is awesome. The FSEXPO is like, it's amazing to be here.
I'll tell you what, I'm having a blast walking around, seeing all the things that I want to spend money on and empty my bank account on.
I know. I might need to open a credit card or two.
Yeah.
There's so many cool innovations here, and like from the simplest flight sim setups to these giant A320 cockpits, which don't tell anybody. I don't even fly airliners in the sim or nothing like that. I've never tried one. But there's so much stuff here. I mean, you could probably remortgage your house and still wouldn't have enough money to purchase everything in here. Like just one copy of everything.
It looks like Philippe might be on base right now. Or is he on down?
I think he is
turn.
turning base. Just by looking at the mountains in the background.
All right, he's on base now.
Now he's getting it real slow. He's going to dissipate all that energy before he gets. What I like to do when I turn final, that's when I really start honing it in. I make sure that I'm about 500 feet above the ground, AGL, and I get the flaps in right as I start to turn final. I get the flaps in and really start slowing it down at that point because I want to be as slow, but as safely slow, but as slow as I can possibly be, well before I get close to the line, because you give up anything on that line, and you're going against some of these guys that, whether it's in the real world or in the sim, you're going up against some of these guys that have been doing this for a while. You give up even an inch sometimes, and that might be the difference between a first or second or third place. And if you need the season points, I mean, you got to be getting those first place, So it looks
nice and slow right now.
Yeah.
Looks like he's got all flaps in.
It's nice and controlled. Now, one thing, don't forget, if you're in the NX Cub, if that's the Got Friends Monster NX, it does have nitrous. So don't forget to turn off the nitrous, because you will never really get rid of all that thrust with the nitrous on. And how do I know? Because I've done it on accident. Wow.
A lot less energy than his past.
Great. So a lot of progress out of Philippe. See how quick that is. I mean, I think that's Philippe's third try. See, we don't try to make the eSTOL something that's like unattainable. I mean, eSTOL and STOL in the real world, I mean, it's not something that is unattainable. It's something that the community will teach you how, whether that be in the real world or in the sim. Our communities will teach you how to do this. So, if you're flying in the real world and you want to join a STOL competition, we have cards with all of our competitions that are left in the real world. Ooh.
That was beautiful.
The got cheese? That's got to be the got cheese. That's got to be Zach.
Number 33.
Yes. Wisconsin. A little, a nice little right toe brake turn out of there. That was Zach. So great job, Zach. But yeah, if you're thinking about joining in the eSTOL competition or in the real world, both sides, it's so cool. They'll teach you how to do it. You know, I mean, I've seen a lot of different tips flying from both ends of that. So guys, if you're here at FSEXPO, you see the giant trailer. Stop over here at the booth and try out. Okay, so if you do the qualifier, it's real simple. You just sign up. Whether you do good or whether you do bad, it doesn't matter. As long as you try it out, then you'll be entered to win a Tobii Eye Tracker 5, compliments of Tobii. So they're sponsoring the giveaway today and sponsoring an event. They've been so gracious to give us 3 eye trackers. So when you're flying here, you'll have a Tobii Eye Tracker to try out. Even if maybe you've just been wondering, how does a Tobii Eye Tracker work? You know, and you want to try a Tobii Eye Tracker out, well, come on over here, guys, and try it. It doesn't cost anything to try. You just step up, and you step right up to the table, do your you sign up for the qualifier, and then, boom, you automatically have a chance to win a Tobii Eye Tracker 5. All right, Philippe, I think this is Philippe is on his, I think this will be the 4th time. And we've seen progress out of Philippe every single time. And it looks, so it's just past 100 foot. So just about 300 foot for the takeoff. And you see, flaps were down. He pulled those flaps so he could get up off of the ground, get into ground effect, and then fly away. Now he's going to go around the pattern. He'll come back in and try to land in shorter than he did last time.
You got a little reverse prop action going on.
Not
really, but
that might be. So there's a pushback feature in Microsoft Flight Sim.
okay.
Okay, so we have someone in the Kit Fox. One tip with the Kit Fox that I'll give. So the Kit Fox has a lot of torque. Also, your weight and balance is right. You're sitting on the left side, so your CG for the aircraft is going to be far to the left. Well, in the simulator, you can throw on a one wheel that weighs 23 pounds, and so you go in the weight and balances menu. You throw on that one wheel, and it will actually bring your CG almost. It'll bring it close to center. It'll bring it a little right of center, and then that'll actually kind of counteract the torque as well.
Okay. Awesome.
But even still, sometimes you see that list to the with the left wing dipping like that.
Yeah.
Just 'cause it has so much power. Oh, saved it. There we go. So it could have been a nose over, but looks like he did the right thing, added some power, and pulled back on that stick. And Jared DeAngelis, 97-foot takeoff. I think even with the bounce, because if they do touch back down again, it's going to be wherever the last place that your wheels took off from.
Yep.
Power.
What's up?
Little warm. As long as you're good with it.
Yeah.
Oh. Hey, Tom, can you get the air conditioner on? Power button's not working. I tried that already. All right, so we look down the row here. We have, looks like Philippe is still there. So we have Jared, Philippe, and Ernie. And they're all trying their luck here in Vegas on, or maybe their skill. Who knows? They might already know how to do this.
I think after that third round is the more focused round. Everyone's trying to put down some good numbers, even though it's qualifications.
Yeah.
Still want to put up some good numbers, so you make some of your competitors shaking their boots.
Right. Exactly. Now you notice on competition day, then that's where you see you'll see a real relaxed first round. They're just trying to get a number on the board. Because you never know. Your competitor could scratch 3 times in a row, and then all of a sudden you win with a 600-foot takeoff and landing. You never know what's going to happen. Even the best, you'll see a lot of times the best pilots in eSTOL or in regular STOL, a lot of times the best pilots, you'll still see scratches out of them because they're really pushing that line. So the closer they're trying to get to it, the more of a chance that they possibly have to scratch. So even some of the better pilots will still scratch. Of course, their scratches, are usually really, really close to the line.
Yeah.
But so it looks like we got a full booth here. But if you guys are here at the Flight Sim Expo, stop and try your luck here in Vegas and do the qualifier. You can win a Tobii Eye Tracker 5, compliments of Tobii. All you got to do is sign up and do the qualifier. Whether you do bad or whether you do good, you still be entered in for a chance to win.
Now Philippe already landed.
So Jared DeAngelis coming in for a landing in the Kit Fox Stage 2. The Kit Fox is a Microsoft Flight Simulator plane done by a wonderful developer called Parallel 42. And you can pick that aircraft up at parallel42.com. And this year they chose not to do a booth. I think I saw Edson somewhere in a cabana out by the pool. Ooh.
A little bit of diversion, if you will.
Was it over the line though? I didn't see that. I was talking about.
Scratched.
No, scratch. Okay.
Yeah, it was a scratch.
But like we were just saying though, sometimes a scratch just means that you're trying as hard as you can to get to that line.
In real life, it may drop out of the air because the wind.
Right, like a wind gust.
Yeah.
And that actually happens in the flight simulator too. You'll get varying winds and stuff like that. All right, so we have another pilot coming in on final here. Not sure. It looks like a Carbon Cub, I think. It's hard to see from that far away. I do have my glasses on too, but I still can't. Or is that that might be the Kit Fox?
I think that might be another Kit Fox.
Oh yeah. All right, so
Bringing
very
it nice
poised.
and low and slow.
Oh,
there we
look
go.
at that!
Very nice.
Wow. Now remember, guys, there's not a lot of wind out here in our virtual Furnace Creek, so you're not going to see any 5-foot takeoffs and 15-foot landings. Most likely, you will not see that today unless the wind picks up. So when you're seeing something like 100, 150 feet on a landing with that close to the line, that was really close. I'm not sure if he might have only given up like a foot or two. But with no wind, it gets a little more difficult to take off and land because the wind is really what's going to help lift your wings into the air or, help you stop a little quicker. Next takeoff, Jared.
So he had a 97-foot takeoff last time, so we'll see what he's going to do this go around.
Yeah, so we've been noticing the pattern of each time. Oh, he just passed him.
He's just paying a visit to the crowd.
Yeah, but he didn't hit anybody, so he's all good.
Oh yeah,
But that's
get that front door parking, that valet parking.
Yeah, and that's where it's like interesting. You get that close to an airplane. It's pretty cool. When I went out to Swamp STOL and I did the 100-foot camera, so you were at Swamp STOL. That's where I first met you, actually. Yep. It was I did the 100-foot camera, and it was like really interesting to be that close and watching how well the pilots handle the planes coming in. There wasn't one time where I was even worried about any plane coming towards me or anything like that. It's like it just goes to show like the skill level of all the real life pilots. But that's why we do part of the reason why we do it in the flight sim too is so you can get the practice. Because in the flight sim is a lot more forgiving. You can divert from the runway and nothing happens. So it looks like we have looks like a Ben K in the Parallel 42 Kit Fox. Chummy. His name is Chummy. He's participating online. So it looks like for the unlimited class qualifiers, Zachy has the best score. It's 151 feet, which is amazing. If you think about getting an airplane off the ground, back onto the ground, and your wheels have only been on the ground for 151 feet or so.
The taxiing action is pretty funny.
Yeah. All right, so
Now, is this one of our competing aircraft?
no, that is it looks like a model matching issue. So there's a few of those issues. We've kind of ironed them all out, but every once in a while you'll see, because of the way that Microsoft Flight Sim 2020, the model matching sometimes will show up. We do a good job of making sure, like our drone operators, who are real people operating, some from Germany, some from Canada, all over the place. We do a good job to make sure they all have the aircraft downloaded and the liveries and things like that. But I'm hoping that was a Navion actually. I don't think it's one of our competition aircraft, but someone just coming out there and hanging out. Wanted to be part of the mix. But I'm hoping Flight Sim 2024 has some kind of native model matching. I've heard so many theories. I mean, I do a Flight Sim stream on Twitch, and come out and hang out with us. We do group flights. It's Burstix TV on Twitch. But I've heard so many viewers come up with all these theories about. It's been a hot topic, the model matching thing. So many different ways that people have come up with to get the model matching to work correctly. So I hope that Microsoft Flight Sim 2024, when it comes out in November, has native model matching, so we don't have to worry about trying to get the models to match up. But that's why we saw a Bonanza there. But it was actually a Navion B by Hangar Studios 713, and you can actually find that Navion. I think it's on sale for $9.99 right now in the Flight Sim store. So even though we didn't get to see it, it is a nice aircraft. So it looks like we have another new competitor up at the booth here. So the guys here that are at the convention, you see sitting here right now, so they're all in their headsets. They're actually talking to an air boss, right? And the air boss is directing them, telling them, when to go, where to go, and things like that. Now tomorrow during the competition, again, if you're participating from here, or if you're participating online, we'll do a heat of 5 tomorrow. I think it's a heat of 5, and we have one aircraft take off every 30 seconds, right? And so all the people that are in the heat together are in a Discord call, and if you don't know what Discord is, it's basically just a voice chat call, and you just listen to the air boss. He's going to tell you, hey, pilot number 1, take off, and then you count out 30 or 20 seconds, depending on what the air boss says, and then the next pilot goes. And the point of that is to keep it flowing, right? So when the last pilot takes off of that group of 5, the first pilot that already took off is coming back in about 20 to 30 seconds after that, and that's exactly how they do it in the real world too. Yeah. Depending, it may be a little bit different of heat size and things like that, but still, to keep that action flowing and keep the pilots all in a groove, keep them engaged. So if you guys are at the expo and you guys want to hang out with us and do some eSTOL, come on over to the big old trailer in the corner. You don't have to be good at STOL. You might be a STOL pro in the flight sim. You might be a STOL pro in the real world, or you might have never tried it before. It doesn't matter. If you do the qualifier, you get entered in for a chance to win a Tobii Eye Tracker 5. So come on in and try your luck. It's real simple. Just see Karen at the booth there next to the merch. Pick yourself up one of those straw hats, and no, I really do want one. I think I'm going to get one. But yeah, sign up and come try your luck here in Vegas at the Flight Sim Expo with National eSTOL.
So we just had one of our kit foxes come in. All right, that was Ben. He's taxiing right now.
I think they said Ben was. Is Ben one of the ones that are here, or was he one of the ones online?
He's online.
Oh, so Ben is qualifying from online. So we do have, a regular series where people compete. We have about 25 to 30 pilots, and they're all They're all in a community on Discord, so it's really cool. Everybody's in a in this Discord community, and they're all friends. They all practice together. So if you want to, even to be part of a community like that is really cool. Even if I don't compete, I still love seeing all the interaction between the pilots. So Ben's competing from online, and so that's who anybody that's here that gets in the qualification today will come back tomorrow to compete against all the professionals. And then there will be, if you win, that's your start in National eSTOL. You actually come from being a rookie to, someone flying and competing for points, for season points. So I see right here in the bottom corner here, check out the Classic Aircraft Simulations J3 Cub. So we do have some of that new J3 Cub, which is, it's like, it came out of the blue. I don't know where it came from. Like, I did a YouTube video about it, and it kind of blew up. But it's a really interesting aircraft in Microsoft Flight Sim because we haven't had, like, a really great J3 Cub. And so some new developer named Classic Aircraft Simulations creates this J3 Cub. It's only $16. I bought it, and I was like, man, this thing is really good. So check out that. It's on Sim Market or Contrails. Just, J3 Cub on YouTube. You'll probably find my YouTube video, and it'll have all the links to get to that. But we do have some J3 Cubs to give as prizing for the competition tomorrow. So that J3 Cub will go out to some of the winners, and that's compliments of Classic Aircraft Simulations. So the expo is bustling. There's tons of people in here. And, I didn't expect it to be as big. Just even in general, how crazy the concourse is. It's like a half a mile long or something. Just going all the way down. There's Flight Sim this, Flight Sim that. I don't know. We should get an estimate on how many people are supposed to be here. I might have to actually Google that and find out out of curiosity.
We got nice. Oh.
It looks like maybe they've got their nose trim. It's possible that I think that's Ben. And it's possible that almost like his nose trims down because he keeps, he'll get off the ground and then kind of, nose down and shoot back onto the ground again. I mean, he's getting it off.
To stick forward. So, during takeoff, he needs to have that stick forward. Maybe has it forward just a little bit too long, or
right.
Maybe it might be a little sensitivity issue.
Could be. Yeah.
But that takeoff did start out very nice and possibly ended in a prop strike, but.
Yes, but that's the thing. You save a little bit of money on gas and on props and parts and everything else in the flight sim. Yeah, I think it's. I think the flight sim is like so realistic now. Even if you have like entry level stuff, like you can really get a good feel with Microsoft Flight Simulator. So I want to give a shout out to Parallel 42. They are doing an application specifically for National eSTOL, where it's going to help us kind of automate some of the things that we have to have people do, like scoring, and also help with like landing rates and things like that. So huge shout out to them. I was talking about Edson earlier. They don't have a booth this year, so they're sponsors, but they don't have a booth at the expo. And Edson said you could find him at the cabana. He might be out by the pool. He might be walking around. You never know where Edson's at.
Oh, yeah, all the fun spots.
He's everywhere all at once, I think, sometimes. But, yeah, so him, Edson, and Kevin of Parallel 42, they've been working on that. And it's going to make a lot of the things a little easier for us, so we don't have to have people scoring and worrying about if people are landing with their parking brake on by accident. Like, all that stuff will be displayed for the pilots to see, so they'll know. They'll know what's going on with their own plane as well, just in case.
It looks like we got a 150.
Another 152.
Okay, it's 152.
That is Ernie, just past the 300-foot mark. Tried to pull. So we have today we have an unlimited class, we have a bush class, we have a touring class, and then we also have a spec class. So tomorrow at the competition, the spec class is something that we added to eSTOL where everybody flies the same plane, right? So we have traditional classes where you could do, the unlimited class might be, a Got Friends Savage Gravel with nitrous, or it might be a Kip Fox Stage 2 or the new competition variant. And so there's different planes that will fly against each other in the unlimited class, but we wanted to add something where everybody was flying the same thing as well, without changing too much. So we decided to add a spec class. Well, tomorrow the spec class is that double under from Got Friends. So the double under is amazing. We talked about it earlier. It's one of those planes that's like you either love it or hate it as far as looks, but if you fly it, you will love it.
Oh, yeah.
You will absolutely. There's no way like you could fly that plane and still not like it afterwards. It's absolutely, it's done so well. I mean, every little thing was thought of by the developers there and Got Friends. And speaking of Got Friends, right there, we got 270 at Got Friends. And he does all the beautiful textures that you see on all the Got Friends aircraft. And another couple of people trying out the simulator as well. I think that's Planet Neutral there too. Planet Neutral, you can find him on Twitch. If you like jam music and stuff like that, Planet Neutral, that's a place to go. His stream is unique because he does a lot of like live stream, like live concert stuff. So if you're like a Deadhead and or just like jam music in general, check him out on Twitch. It's twitch.tv/Planet Neutral.
Kip Fox. Little bounce.
Another bounce.
3 good landings.
This almost reminds me of skipping rocks when I was a kid across the bay. I think that's Ben again, one of our online competitors. And I'm not so familiar with Ben. I know most of the pilots, so it might be one of the new guys. So as we pan down the runway here at the Furnace Creek National eSTOL competition scenery, you guys can get that. It's in the official store. So if you're on Microsoft Flight Sim, just check the official store for Furnace Creek. And if you maybe you say, hey, I don't know if I want to try it in front of everybody. Well, when you get home, you can pick it up and try it, in the privacy of your own home where no one has to know how well you do. But you can pick up the scenery on the official store, and it's just called Furnace Creek. And you can try your luck there with the Furnace Creek eSTOL scenery.
I wonder if I can guess who's black and hot pink, hot purple double ender that is over there.
That definitely has to be Kat's, right?
I'm pretty sure that's Kat.
Yes. Kat is from England, and, her attitude reminds me of a cat. She's saucy. She doesn't take any, she won't let you, mess around. She's always on it, you know what I mean? And she's probably, in all reality, one of our most practiced and probably the points leader. I mean, she wins like every event. She did have a couple issues where she wasn't able to complete some of the competitions due to sim errors. So, I mean, she couldn't physically fly. Her VR was busted. She was having some other. So she did miss out on a couple competitions, but typically she's one of our most practiced and best pilots. And we
Very
do
nice, stable approach. Sorry to interrupt you.
No.
That's a
Who
beautiful
is?
landing that we just saw with that 152.
And who is that?
All right, Ernie, let's go.
Ernie. Well, can you? So Ernie taxiing around in the Cessna, and it quickly switched over to a Kip Fox. It's like a great takeoff in the Kip Fox.
We're going to have forward takeoff right now. Screen people. We're going to have forward screen takeoff right now. Like Cat, other guys, Victor and stuff.
Okay.
I don't want to turn the break. So, you guys are maybe I can turn it on, but. Yeah, I'm like, turn it up. Not too bad?
We're back.
Okay, so we have looks like 4 aircraft pulling up. Now these guys are some of our pros, and you can tell by how they're taxiing up together. You know, those guys, they impress me quite a bit. You know, you might think, oh, it's just it's just a simulator, but these guys take it just as serious as real life. And I mean, hey, we're here for.
Oh, we're out.
Check. I don't know if my voice is coming through or not. I feel like I'm still here. Okay, so yeah, our feedback went out for a minute, but it seems like we're still live. So I didn't know if I was talking, but I guess I was. But yeah, so these guys really impress me though, because you see them out here practicing all the time, and they take it just as realistically as if it were the real world.
And we can see that by that nice takeoff from that 170B, I believe.
And that's probably so 117-foot takeoff from Victor Wasser, and he is from Poland. So again, guys, these are some of our pilots that are in the series, and so you watch them taxi up together. They're probably all talking in Discord right now, I imagine, because a lot of these guys are really good friends. See the Gottfriends Wilga, that is the leader of its class. If you're flying the Wilga, you're probably kicking a lot of butt. And then the double ender is, it's like it's Kat there with the double ender, and she's got strong toes, so she just kicked him right through the floorboard.
Okay, yeah, some Fred Flintstone going on for those nice breaks.
No, it looks like just a multiplayer issue. We know there's some multiplayer issues, but that's the fun of this. Like that, it makes me laugh. It's beautiful. I love it. Wow, look at the takeoff in the double ender. I'm so excited to see this compete in the spec class. Now, we didn't mean to break our friends at Gottfriends' hearts, but we had to ban the double ender, and it's because we don't allow it in the real life competition. So we keep our competition exactly as real life is. But we said, well, we have a spec class. We want to see the double ender fly. Throw the rules out the window. We're bringing it in for the spec class, because the spec class we could do whatever we wanted. We could do an A320. But I don't think we're ever going to do that. So we got the double ender.
I'm just waiting for a PC-12 or a King Air or something turbine powered.
We had those. We had those actually when we did exhibition. But that doesn't mean that we can't bring something like that back for the spec class. But the double ender is one of those planes that if you it is so well done in Microsoft Flight Simulator by Gottfriends that you really need to learn how to fly it. So if you take a good week or two, depending on how much you know about aircraft, you might be able to learn it quicker. But if you take a good week or two and really sit down with that aircraft, learn how the Airmaster props work, which Kat has definitely done, you can get that thing to land sometimes in less than 10 feet if you got a good headwind. So coming in is Victor Wasser. He is from Poland, so he's flying online. He's one of our series pilots. He's, I think he secured some first places in the series. He's in the 170B. Now, we have a couple of 170B pilots. They're not all doing qualification right now. We have Red Baron, who is a 170B pilot, and Victor's coming in. This guy is a glider pilot in real life.
Oh, beautiful.
So he doesn't typically give. Oh my gosh, almost a nose over, but he saves it and gets the tail back on the ground where everything's safe and good to go. Looked to be, I think it was just under 100, maybe 80 feet on that landing, but we'll wait for the judges because they don't pay me to judge it. I can tell you what I think it is, but it's not going to be correct. 103 feet. Okay, so great for the 170B. Victor Wasser from Poland, glider pilot in real life, 170B pilot in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Now we have it coming in, the Wilga, the Gottfriends Wilga, giving up about 20 feet on the landing. Going to get it stopped pretty quick after that, though. Looks to be about 106 feet on the takeoff, and he didn't waste much time stopping to get a score, so he must have been disappointed with that landing, but 106 feet is amazing. I mean, that's a big aircraft to get stopped in 106 feet, especially when you gave up 20 feet on the landing. Okay. Now, again, we don't know who this one is. The pink double ender with the cat's paw on the side. Oh, yeah, that's Kat. Kat's coming in. She's flying from England. Again, one of our regular season pilots. She probably is close to points leader, if not the points leader. She does practice all the time. She's one of the most practiced and dedicated pilots. Just look at the slow flight there. Oh, a scratch.
A little bit of a scratch there.
A scratch from Kat. So, Kat, if you're listening, you got to practice a little more in that double ender, but you have all night tonight. Get yourself a case of Red Bulls. I know she will anyway, so it doesn't matter. She's not sleeping tonight. If she doesn't straighten that up, Kat's not sleeping tonight.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sure we'll see it from Kat. She's very, very, very good. I think this is... So Kat is leader of the spec class. She already has one win in the spec class with 25 points. And I think so far for the spec class, we've had a 172. That was out at Oklahoma, and we had like 30 to 35 knots of wind.
Beautiful landing. Oh.
So that is Stoyer. Stoyer's flying from Germany. I know the livery when I see that livery. And it looks like
the Savage Cub?
That's actually the Red Bull Cub. So in the flight simulator, they have like the Red Bull landing challenge. Well, so he made a livery for that Red Bull plane, but that plane is in our unlimited class. It has nitrous. It's got much better brakes than the regular. They mirrored it after the Red Bull landing Cub. But that's, base Microsoft Flight Simulator freeware plane. He just put a livery on it so it doesn't say Red Bull. But it has nitrous, so we have to have it in the unlimited class. And it really is. It's a sleeper plane. Not many people really fly it too much. But, Stoyer has taken the time to really practice with it. And, it shows. I think he had 60 to 80-foot landing there. So. Shooting over to the Got Friends station there. So Got Friends, they brought in a couple Xboxes, and they got a couple full setups there, so you can try out some of their aircraft there. And they're right next to us in the trailer, so make sure to stop and see them. Got Friends also has a giveaway going, a sweepstakes, just a quick entry on an iPad. It's right next to where we're broadcasting from, to the right if you're facing our trailer. So check that out. Make sure to enter in their sweepstakes. And if you guys don't know Got Friends, you got to get to know Got Friends. Got Friends are one of my favorite developers.
Looks like we got Victor on the roll right now.
Yep, nice takeoff from Victor. What do you say that was, Cam? What do you think that was on the takeoff?
Oh, my goodness.
I know it was a little small on our screen here, but I think I would say 30 feet or so. So it looks like we have another line. I think the 152 is going to be one of the pilots that are here competing.
Okay, yeah.
This is so cool. We can have people competing here, lined up with people competing from England, we have people from Germany competing today or qualifying today. So they're all over the place. And we just got some chocolate from the crowd. From Tommy. So, Tommy had to smuggle this chocolate across the border. Now, there's nothing like this is okay to eat, right?
As long as you're not allergic to nuts.
No.
We got other people in the crowd. We got Roger. What's going on, Roger? I'm doing great.
So,
great.
Tommy gave us some chocolate here. He's from, if you guys don't know about the DA-42, if you like twin-engine aircraft, check out Cows. Just COWS. You can find their aircraft on Orbix. And it's a really, really good. They just updated it. It's like got all the realism and beauty that you'd ever need in a twin-engine aircraft.
All right, we got Ernie.
Ernie taking off in the 152. He's here in person. And I think this is probably the third time around. Oh, second time around. So he had a really good good landing, but I think in that 152, it's a little light on power.
A little bit.
So you really got to maneuver that thing into the air. So maybe a little work on the takeoff. Maybe, you know, getting the speed up without the flaps, dropping the flaps as quick as you can, pulling at the right time. But that's something that you get from feel, you know. Ooh, and it looks like we have an eSTOL celebrity. Some of you guys might know him from a video of a guy in a full simulator kit doing a little bit of a nose over at our eSTOL Swamp Soul. Smitty is in the crowd there. You can see him right there. Yeah, Smitty. So Smitty Fly, he's one of our regular pilots, and he built himself a full simulator, and it goes like, you know, it goes crazy if you crash. So he told me one time, like, I can't crash or I get, like, bruised up. You know, it hurts in the morning, and I'm like, no way. And then I saw the video of him crashing.
That video is intense.
Yeah, it really sounds like it actually hurts. But talk about realism. I mean, that's about as real as it gets for Flight Simulator. Takeoff from Steuer, flying out of Germany. He's one of our online competitors, and he's flying in the qualifier today from Germany. So virtually attending the expo with us. I didn't see the number on the takeoff, but I'm sure it was good. Steuer knows what he's doing with STOL.
Oh, yeah, I bet you it is good.
Looks like we have somebody coming final here. It looks like maybe Victor. I think it's Victor. I can tell. I can see the white. That's about all I can see. Yeah, that's the 170B. So, real controlled approach. Victor, like I said a little bit ago, he's a glider pilot in real life and a 170B pilot in eSTOL. And he really, I mean, he practices quite a bit. Him and Red Baron practice quite a bit together. Red Baron was one who commented earlier, an AMP mechanic, just passing his test. So, again, congrats to one of our Red Baron.
Beautiful landing.
Beautiful landing. It looks to be
Is that 75 feet?
79, about 79 or so. But yeah, you'll see really good landings out of Victor from Poland. And, I mean, those guys are practicing like crazy. You wouldn't think you'd need that much practice for the flight simulator, but it's crazy when you actually try it and then you go up against some of these people who are legitimately pros. I mean, they're eSTOL pros. And when you go up against them, it can seem intimidating, but, you know, we've had 3 people come in the day of or the day before the event as their very first eSTOL event and come in and win and get a very, like, a second place, a very close second place. So it's not too hard to bridge that gap, but you will see the competition is kind of fierce when you get up to the unlimited class level and stuff like that. So Smitty in quite a different atmosphere than he's normally used to. Smitty does VR. And Smitty has the full motion simulator rig, and he's even got wind blowing at him and everything. I mean, he's got quite a rig, and he built it himself. I think it cost as much as like a Screamin' Eagle Harley Davidson package would cost, somewhere around $20,000. But he built it himself, and so he's in a really different atmosphere than he's in. And so it's interesting to see. I wonder how Smitty's going to do for qualifiers. I think he'll still do good, but he's going to have to get used to quite a different setup. At least he's got the Toby. Right? He doesn't have the VR, but he's got the Toby, so it'll track him. And, he's got the stick, he's got the throttle, he's got the rudders.
Oh.
Wow.
Okay, Kat.
So she's using a reverser. So the double ender has a reverser, But you gotta be able to know. You gotta know the Air Masters to be able to operate that correctly, because you're honestly going to end up hurting yourself if you don't really practice on how to use the reverser well.
So is that like a double reverser, or is the after forward
So
engine?
the front prop has the reverser, and then
Okay.
the rear prop, you could feather it if you wanted to. But typically, if you have a dual throttle, how you're going to fly in with the double ender to like a STOL landing,
Okay.
you're going to want to set it up in the beginning. You're going to want to set it up basically on your final. So like I'll have it set up where I have it on the auto mode, where both props will be on auto. So it's going to just give me basically my best, RPM and speed
Okay,
and things
yeah.
like that, depending on how much throttle. But you have it set up where the beta is already turned on, and then so you just go from like your auto to your manual, and then you just fly in with the back prop and have the beta in the front set ready to go, but no throttle. And then you just kind of switch those around once you hit the ground and once you land, or sometimes before you actually hit the ground.
Now we got Station 1 that just landed in the 152. Nice little hop and a skip.
Hey, Chill Maze, what's going on, man? Another celebrity in the crowd.
And we got the Red Bull Cub.
Stoyer wagging the tail. He's got that tribute to Germany on there. Nice turn out of the way of traffic and falling in line with the rest of the pilots. Oh, look at all the name tags out there. Got Brown Dog and Mr. Glider and Press Play Music. Barricus is out there from England. All those name tags. Burstix
you're out
TV.
there.
That's not actually me. That's like, it's me, but it's not me. No, we're using one of my accounts.
Okay, yeah.
So that's got to be someone that's here at the flight sim
All right.
or at the expo.
That's probably number 1.
I think we set it up on number 1 or number 2.
Okay.
I don't know. It was a long. I was here until 2:30 last night setting everything up. It is number 2 because Tom's is on number 1. So yep, number 2.
Okay.
So that's Smitty. So when you see Bursic TV, that's actually Smitty.
Okay.
So I'm really interested to see how Smitty is going to do. I think he's going to do good, but he's in a real different world than he's normally in. But he's like, I'm at the expo. I don't care. You know what I mean? He's at the expo. He's going to be doing all kinds of stuff tonight. I got to go stop in and see Smitty at the Fly Inside booth, too. He told me I needed to stop and see him and fly a helicopter with him or something like that.
Okay. We got Victor on the line right now, doing his best Jeff Pohl, Michael Lindstrom impression.
Cutting the grass where
Cutting
there
the
isn't even
grass.
any grass. It's our first concrete or asphalt runway, but he's still cutting the grass. There's
yeah.
grass growing up through the
It's a little
cracks.
aggressive, but that's actually how the 170B. That's how Jeff would say you should take off in the 170B.
Yes.
With that,
And is Jeff Pohl's one of the best one in the 170B?
I would say he needs to come back out to one of our live competitions. I hadn't seen him in a while, but yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's definitely one of the better ones for sure.
Yeah, that's
And
awesome.
Dirty Bird.
Oh, the Dirty Bird. Yeah, I know the livery. Take off.
Probably seen him
in
at Sodbusters this year.
the Wilga. Now, where is Sodbusters in person? Isn't that Wisconsin?
It's
Or
going to be in Hartford, Wisconsin, the Saturday before Oshkosh.
oh wow! So if you wanted to have like 2 weeks worth of aviation, you could like go to Hartford, do the
Oh,
National eSTOL event, then stay somewhere in between there and Oshkosh, and then do the Oshkosh the next weekend.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you could like bridge the weekends really well like that.
You get your camping spot at Camp Scholler for sure, and just do the eSTOL competition from out there if you got Starlink or
Camp Scholler.
Camp Scholler.
All right.
That's where the camping is at Oshkosh. Get your spot because it's pretty much first come, first serve.
Yeah.
Show
How
up.
well in advance do you think you need to book something like that?
I mean, there's people who are showing up right now, like who've been showing up since May in those spots,
Wow.
claiming their spots for Oshkosh.
Looks like another good takeoff from Stoyer in the Red Bull X Cub, using the nitrous to his advantage to get up off the ground as quick as possible. He'll be in the unlimited class. So any plane that has nitrous, any plane that has any modifications to it in the eSTOL, that's not just a stock plane. Typically, those are going to be in the unlimited class. And now unlimited doesn't mean like free for all. There are some things that aren't allowed in the unlimited class, but for the most part, most things go in the unlimited class. So there are a lot of planes that fit into that category due to nitrous or giant engine strapped to the wings. So someone taking off here in the 152. And we have Norcali stepping up to do. I don't know if Norcali's going to do some practice, if he's going to do his qualification. Norcali yells from the crowd, he's doing some practice. Hey, I wanted to do some practice. He's another one who's one of our pilots. He streams on Twitch. It's Norcali J, I think. It's Norcali J. So he's sitting down there at station number 3. So he's actually on a trip he lives in Northern Cali. That's the name, Norcali. He's on a trip doing some camping, stopping in at family members, and I think he left a couple weeks ago from his house. He's here at FSEXPO. He's going to continue on his trip even further from here, and so he's just doing the thing. All the way to Tennessee.
All right.
Going to see Trucker Becky, I imagine, which is his mom. She hangs out with us in the Twitch channels and stuff like that. Norcali's mom's got to be one of the coolest moms probably around.
Do we have a scratch from Victor? I can't tell.
He's
Or is he
probably
just that low?
floating her down the runway.
Yeah, okay.
Victor's actually, he's magic. I think that is a Wilga coming in.
This is the National STOL livery Wilga. All right. What would you say, 100 and what?
105 or so,
Okay.
just about 105, which is pretty consistent there. And Kat coming in. It's been a while since Kat's practiced in the double under because I know she's a little behind on her practice with it, and I don't want to give away any of her secrets, but she needed to have some pointers and stuff like that. So I fly the double under a lot still, and I'm pretty up to date with how to use the Airmaster prop. So I gave in our eSTOL pilots chat, I gave a little tutorial that I made on my YouTube, and I threw it in the chat for them so they could see how to land the double under. So hopefully that was helpful to some of the pilots. Really working the flaps or ailerons to try to keep it. So
a little scratch.
So I think the thing is like what's happening is she's setting it up, right. She's getting that front prop ready, pulling out all the throttle, and she has it set on beta, right. But it's essentially just sitting there ready to go into beta when she pushes the throttle forward. But what happens is if there's no wind, which there's not much wind out there today, if there's no wind, then you're really going to struggle, and you're going to have to use almost all of the throttle from the back prop to fly it in because it's just not enough. There's no wind. It's not enough real. You don't have enough momentum sometimes too. So there's only a couple things you can do in that situation. You can come in from higher, and try to really focus in and float it down onto the line, or you start the beta process a little bit later.
Okay.
So. And there may be some more scenarios in there that you could think of. But those are the two things I would do.
I was working through them in my head because you were saying using the aft. There's somebody out here with the F-22. I thought I saw a very fast shadow go over the last person who took off.
Got an air show going on out here?
Yeah, got a nice little air show. I feel like I would be hanging off of the front prop and feathering the aft prop, the aft engine, to keep it at a high angle of attack and keep it slow enough.
That's interesting. So you would forego the beta altogether, and you would feather the back prop. I'm surprised you remember me saying that because I only mentioned that briefly. And so you really have been thinking about that. That's great.
I'm already in there.
That's awesome. Well, you're part of the eSTOL team, so we're definitely we got to get you a copy of the double ender so that way you can do some practicing on that.
I got to do some practicing.
That's
for sure.
interesting though, and we'll have to see if what's better because I've done both, and actually the little YouTube video that I made actually has both of those in there. To do one or the other with the beta or the feather on the back.
Yeah.
And I didn't measure to see which one was better, so it's really interesting. Nice view of our pilots here live at the competition. We have a couple of old pros there in Smitty and Norcali sitting there on a second and third PC. They've both had first places in eSTOL. And then we have someone who's coming up from the crowd to try out the qualification.
With the 152, which is
with the
awesome. Doing great landing.
Yeah. And you can see the head tracking working there, so you don't have to have anything hooked to your head for the Tobii head tracking. It just works smoothly and wonderfully.
I'm so impressed by it because I'm coming from the last time I had any type of tracking with the video game would be like Xbox 360.
Right, maybe like what do they have, like a bowling or something? I feel like I had something with the Xbox 360. I can't remember what that was.
I forgot what it was. I forgot what it was actually called, but on your TV.
Yeah, I had it.
And
Connect.
Yeah.
I think it was Xbox Connect.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I forgot all about that.
Xbox Connect.
Yeah, they had actually some really interesting titles and stuff with that. We had the Wii as well, so like when you throw we found out you could throw the bowling ball into the crowd by accident. We didn't even know that you could do that until one night we were somehow throwing bowling balls into the crowd. But I think the Connect was pretty cool. They had a lot of like innovation into that. And yeah, I mean, that was kind of the same thing, like a camera and an IR, you know.
But, yeah, it's just amazing how technology's progressed since then because until today, until actually a couple of days ago, if you were to ask me about eye tracking or anything like that, I wouldn't be very reliant on it. I wouldn't think that it would be very accurate, but I tried it out the other day, calibrated one of the computers out here, and looking and making the dot disappear or explode was really, really cool, and I couldn't wait to put it to practical use with this.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure that's going to come home with me. If I don't win one, I'm definitely going to buy one and utilize it because it looks very cool. Yeah,
don't forget to stop by the booth then and 15% off code with code FSEXPO. So if you guys been thinking about getting a Tobii, I think they're $279 regular price, but you can get 15% off with code FSEXPO. And if you forget the code, well, just stop by the booth. We have a QR code here that you can scan and get the discount. But yeah, I mean, the Tobii is one of my favorite things for my setup. I would not be able to fly without it.
Yeah.
And as you know, I don't know if anybody here follows my stream, but there was about 2 or 3 days where I didn't have the Tobii because I had some issues with my PC, and it absolutely drove me up a wall without having it. I mean, it's like it goes from like, oh, I can't wait to get onto the sim to I don't even want a sim.
Yeah. All right, looks like we're going to go to commercial.
Yep, we'll go to a quick commercial, guys. So make sure to stop up here. If you guys are at the FS Expo, stop up and just try the qualifier, whether you do good or bad. Stop in, and you get a chance to win a Tobii Eye Tracker 5 compliments of Tobii, and we'll see you guys after the break.
Hey, it's Trent. Fly low, don't die. my wingman and join in the adventure. Now available in the Microsoft Flight Simulator Marketplace on PC and Xbox.
What's up, Av Geeks and STOL Freaks, everyone? My name's Ryan Dabrowski. Below me on your screen, the legend himself, Burstix TV, in Jennings, Louisiana, for Swamp STOL, eSTOL today. And now we are ready for our second ever, if I'm not mistaken. Of the race course here from this Robinson, flying over as we get ready. I'm going, oh man, how much did that cost? But maybe we'll save that. We'll save that for another time.
That's goals right there. That is goals. If we all had that flight simulator set up, I think we'd spend even less time, in the real world. And I don't know. Maybe I'll stay away from the VR. That's why I'm scared of it. I don't want to get VR and then not come out of my room for a couple days.
Looking for a more affordable entry into bush plane flying? How about paramotoring, aka the dirt bike of the sky? Paramotoring STOL is the next best thing, and this adventure motor that you wear on your back is your ticket to getting airborne quick. At Aviator Paramotor, our 2-week training takes you from zero to hero.
Sunrise this morning, it was beautiful. There was a thin layer of fog flying. It's just like all the stress and all that kind of just floats away. It's really peaceful.
From no experience to feeling confident and competent flying on your own. Let the team at Aviator Paramotor in Lake Wales, Florida teach you your new superpower of running into the sky. Classes are filling up quick, but there are spots available today, so call now. Side effects include, but not limited to, significant life changes, foot drags, ear-to-ear smiles. Find the extreme freedoms of ripping around the skies in your new adventure motor with friends.
All right, Av Geeks and STOL Freaks back for some more eSTOL action. Doing some qualifiers today to try to find out who's going to be the best tomorrow at the competition, which will be held live here on the floor. So today, if you do the qualifier, whether you're here on the floor or online, you have a chance to win a Tobii Eye Tracker 5, which is amazing, by the way. I have one for my own personal setup. Tomorrow, we have another prize coming from Thrustmaster for it'll be another giveaway, but it'll then be only open to the people that are, doing the competition tomorrow. So if you qualify today here on the floor, then you can get in for the Tobii Eye Tracker 5, and then you'll be here tomorrow competing against all the online people and the rest of the people that make it in for the competition. And we can't say just what it is yet, but there will be another prize tomorrow from Thrustmaster.
Ooh.
So get excited for that.
Okay.
So Thrustmaster, they have a booth here on the floor. So if you're here, make sure to stop into the Thrustmaster booth. They have provided us 3 setups today so we can do what we're doing today and allowing people to compete on the floor. So make sure to stop into Thrustmaster's booth. Tomorrow is their day to do the giveaway too. So we're going to be getting a nice prize from them tomorrow for all the people that make it in to the competition Sunday. Big gathering here around the National eSTOL trailer and Got Friends booth. I'm happy to see everybody out here trying it and just enjoying this.
Everyone's enjoying it. Seeing nothing but smiles. We're getting a lot of attention. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
great time out here right now.
I mean, STOL is like, it's not new, right? It's been going on in Valdez, Alaska for 30, 40 years, like a competition-wise.
The competition aspect of it, yeah. Probably
And
a little
bush
bit longer.
flying goes back from early military days, like bird dog and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But this idea of a national STOL where we travel around the country and do real life STOL events, and then also we bring that into the simulator. I think maybe like 4 years old, and it's like the growth that we've seen it's exciting. It's amazing. I love being a part of this. It's an honor to be sitting here with you, Cam, and working with Tom and Karen, the owners of National STOL, and Eric and Ryan, the other caster. They're all awesome people, and great to be here with you guys. Don't forget to see Karen at the merch booth too to pick up your National eSTOL shirts. We do have merch for sale over there, so you can check out the official Flight Sim Expo, which has all of our stops here, our virtual stops, on the back of the T-shirt. So check that out at the STOL merchandise booth. So okay, we are on board with Smitty, one of our regular eSTOL pilots. Typically, he's online in VR with a full motion sim rig that he built himself. Today, he's here in a much different setting, but I still think we're going to see great landings out of him. Having a little. There we go. I think maybe about a 200 and so foot takeoff, which is a little longer than usual, but there's no wind today. So we're going to see a little longer from the backcountry class. We're going to see a little bit longer of. Actually, I think Wilga might be in touring. Let's see here.
Yep.
Okay, yes. Wilga's in the touring class. So touring class are going to be like your 4-seat aircraft, like your 172s, your Wilgas, and things like that. So they're a little heavier. And with no wind, it takes a little bit longer to get them off the ground. We have Barracus here competing online from England with about the same takeoff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's going to be our norm here for the Wilga. It's going to be closely around 200 feet. For landing, I'm going to say they can get it stopped like 115. I'm going to say that's my bet, 115. I think that'll be close to our stopping distance for the Wilga today. As long as they get close to the line, as long as they hit the line just after it. So seeing as the last two, you got Smitty competing here out of his normal element, but he's here live enjoying the Flight Sim Expo. And then seeing Barracus do his thing, and he's at his home sim. I think Smitty's doing pretty well.
Yeah.
If he's competing with Barracus at his home sim, I think he's doing pretty well on a setup that he's not used to. NorCali gearing up, getting the headset ready. Also another man out of his element. And I don't know, like for me, if I'm, no matter what the game I'm playing, no matter if it's Flight Sim or something like Call of Duty, if I'm not at my own home setup, I do need a little time to get used to it, but it only takes that few minutes to get that muscle memory, and then boom, you're good to go.
Yeah.
Or maybe it takes longer. It'd probably take me like an hour, I guess, because I'm pretty picky about my setup. I'm the one who's like making sure my chair is exactly a certain height, and my monitors are like, this exact spot. That's just the way I am. So I think that's Red Baron. Red Baron, that's his livery, but I think it is Red Baron coming in. He's competing.
It is a 172.
It should be a 170B.
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah.
Yep.
170B.
170B. He did his own livery. I actually taught him a little bit on how to do liveries.
Oh.
Now, some people might not like this, but I do liveries with like 2D. So that's the only way I knew how to teach Red Baron to do it, but he did a good job with his livery. So he's the one who is the A&P mechanic.
Yep.
He's also a pilot in real life in training. And he was kind of worried about not having enough time to compete today or qualify today. And, I told him, hey, you're going to be, a little stretched for time. Just get with us and, we'll work with you. As long as it's not like midnight tonight when you can get in. But obviously good to see him make it in and get all of his stuff done today. Okay, so this is Smitty coming in, getting used to the different sensitivities. Got it real straightened out, though.
Yep.
Give up about
Nice
27
landing.
feet on landing. Gets it stopped just shy of 200 feet. So I would say about 197. It's a little, my guess was a little off from that, but that's good to see. It'd be interesting to see what Barricus does coming in here. Now, that Wilga, you just saw the black Wilga, and then coming in, the next Wilga is going to be the red and black Wilga. They're all in a pattern together. And by the way, guys, these guys are all, whether you're here on the floor or whether you're at home, you're all in a Discord channel, a chat channel, talking to an air boss who's directing you. Maybe you're coming in a little too fast, you need to slow down. Maybe you're coming in a little too slow, you need to speed up. You have direction in the pattern in the sky. So Barricus coming in. We'll see what his landing is. Real smooth coming in. He's got it under control.
Ooh, very nice. Yeah, full stall.
A little bit given up there, but just about 175 or so.
Yeah.
Actually, that might be like 150. Might be like 150 on that landing. We'll have to wait and see what the actual judges say. They don't pay me to read the markers. I just guess. I pretty much just guess until we get a good answer. But I mean, we get it close enough. So we'll wait to see what the exact landing distance was on that. I'm pretty confident with Smitty's being around 197 or 196. And then Barricus, again, competing from England online. So you don't you can compete online. You can compete. Well, today is the first time we've ever done a live show, but I love seeing everybody coming up here and doing this.
Yeah.
Vinny doing all the hard work, making sure everybody is comfortable with the setup that we have here. Much appreciation to all the people who volunteer to do. We have drone operators, we have judges. We have air bosses, ground bosses, people doing production. I mean, this is like a 10 to 15 person production when you see, the qualifier today, or even more concise and would be tomorrow our competition. You'll see this production and it's amazing we can even do this with the flight simulator. I mean, you know how hard it is to operate a drone in the flight sim? Well, I mean, unless you got your settings like perfect, it's definitely not easy to do. So it's awesome. Red Heron and DeWert are usually our drone operators. Actually, Vinny, who's here on the floor, he does our drone operating too. But Vinny today is here with us, getting our on-floor qualifiers set up and comfortable with the setups here. Red Baron, nice takeoff, just shy of 100 feet. Maybe somewhere around 93 or so. And just taking off into the sky in his 170B like nothing happened. Like he never even was on the ground in the first place. It's like he was just born to fly. And so you see this kind of tighten up because these three here are competitors that are in. So we got Smitty taking off. Looks about 205 on the takeoff there. And you'll see these guys tighten up a little bit because they have experience with the pattern. They've done this, I think they've done most of these guys have done like 6 or 7 competitions so far. So you'll see, promptly pulling up to the line, they're all really in sync with each other. They practice together on a regular basis. It's a cool community. And that's one of the other things that you get out of eSTOL. It's not just like you're sitting there competing in your own house by yourself. You really get into the community. And, these guys practice together. They hang out in Discord, talk, all this stuff. So it's a good sense of camaraderie with everybody. I'm really impressed with all the pilots. Those guys are a big part of, how we can do this and pull this off. Without the pilots, wouldn't be here, Mm-hmm. Nice shot of the floor there. You can see all the different booths in the background. We're here at the National eSTOL booth. If you guys are out on the floor and you're wondering, hey, man, how do I get into this eSTOL stuff? It's really easy. Just come on up to the booth and talk to Karen. She'll get you signed up for the competition. If you do the qualifier, no matter how good or bad you do, you'll get to be put into giveaway for a Tobii Eye Tracker 5. So you don't have to do good. You can do bad. You can do good. Doesn't matter. But however you do, if you do the qualifier, you'll be put in for a Tobii Eye Tracker 5, which you can see right here. I have one for my own personal home setup. I don't do VR because I stream, so it's a little tough to do VR and stream at the same time. But the Tobii is like, I get the depth perception. I get everything I need from the Tobii. So it's a really good instrument to have if you don't want to be locked into that VR world, Smitty focused up. You can see him on computer 2 there. Focused up. I like it. Smitty's actually changed around the where his stick is. He's got it in front of him in the center. Now I fly at home. I fly with my stick to the right. But Smitty, like I said before, he's got that cockpit. He's got that home cockpit that moves around, and his stick must be in the center because you see he's moved it over a little bit, which I like to see. Getting as comfortable as you could possibly get when you're at a setup away from home. So he's coming around the pattern. And you'll notice we do have the pylons there, which you can see just off the right wingtip of this black whelk here on the screen. He's turning final now. And those cones will help guide your way back around to get into the landing and get stopped there just after the line that you just took off from. So I think Smitty's takeoff on this one was somewhere around 2:03 or 2:05. We'll see what he can get stopped in. Looks like we have a 152 coming in. Didn't give up much on the line there. Is really good.
Yeah.
Seems to be just over 200 foot on the landing for the 152. That's good. That's really good for the 152s, stock aircraft, stock flight simulator aircraft. So not really anything too crazy about it. Just regular, good old STOL aircraft. Smitty coming in. And a low scratch with the right tire, just about 5 feet shy. But like we said before, if you aren't scratching, you're probably not trying hard enough. You're going to scratch. If you're trying to hit the line, it's going to happen. You're going to scratch, especially when you're in a Wilga with no wind. So some days we have 30 knots of wind. Other days we have 0 wind. I like the more windy days.
I like the more windy days.
But at one of our last eSTOL competitions, we were out at Arklahoma, which actually one of the, board members of the Real Life Arklahoma is here, Ray.
Yep.
And
Alex.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so Arklahoma, we do the eSTOL competition there too, and we had somewhere along the lines of 30 to 35 knots of wind. Now in the real world, if there's a lot of wind, some of the lighter aircraft like the RANs and the 701s and stuff like that, they'll need what's called a wing walker, okay? And so in the real world, they have people walk next to the wing and hold the wing down while these planes taxi, and to make sure that if they're taxiing into a crosswind, that they're not going to lift up their wing and tip over, because the winds can get pretty treacherous. But in the sim, we didn't have that. Verica's coming in. giving up about 22 feet on the landing, but getting stopped promptly. Just 115 feet or so on the stop there, and that was more of along my guess, about the 115. Okay. But see, he gave up 22 feet, so he could still better that by 90 feet is he could get probably on total for a landing. But it is more difficult to control in a bigger aircraft, especially with no wind. But back to the Oklahoma thing, though. We had a competition in Oklahoma. It's a 30 to 35 knot winds. And watching the guys and the girls maneuver and taxi around on the ground with nobody to hold the wings down was insane. I mean, it was like it was really funny to watch. But they did it. They all did it.
Oh, it went down. Oh, very nice landing.
There we go. Red Baron. Doing a little tail wag there at the end. Red Baron, a real-life student pilot and A&P mechanic. He's getting the best of both worlds there.
I would say the one thing at Oklahoma is that there were some heavy rains, and there was a lot of mud, and well, not a lot of mud, but a lot of soft dirt.
This was the real-life Oklahoma, which happened, last couple weeks ago?
A couple months ago, or at least in May.
Okay.
And the ground was pretty soft. There was a prop strike. I think lucky for that guy, it was very soft ground, so there were no
damage to the prop or anything.
Wow,
the ground's
very
so
light
soft.
damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. No engine damage. Everything was good. He was able to make it home the next day.
Now I think Smitty. Hey, there's the shout out to Jonks and Got Friends, which were a big part in us getting this beautiful scenery into the store. So make sure to stop by their booth and check out their aircraft at got-friends.com/Burstix. And check out their aircraft. They got some amazing stuff. I mean, a big they're a big part of our eSTOL force. I mean, honestly, I think at least 3 to 4 of their aircraft are used on a regular basis in the eSTOL.
Nice.
Some of the best Bush aircraft in the sim, Other than that, you've got some freeware stuff on FlightSim.to, and you got the Kit Fox, the Parallel 42 Kit Fox, another great one. I want to know if we have the video of the Smitty home sim. I would like to throw that up if we can. I don't know if Tom has that somewhere laying around, but it's on my YouTube if that's findable. But I would love to see the differences between, Smitty here. I think the crowd needs to see that. They got to see how different it is for them. Yeah.
I think you just have to see how treacherous or how violent it is when he crashes. Like
yes.
That is
when
just.
He flies in our group flights sometimes on the Twitch. We do four nights a week. We do group flights, and he was telling me one time, like, I actually get bruised up when I crash. He's like, so I got to be careful. I'm like, no way. There's no way that And when you see the video, you're like, wow, okay, no wonder he could be bruised up if he crashes.
There you go.
Smitty on the takeoff. I think it was just. It's over 200 feet, I think.
Yeah.
But, again, it's really tough to get that big bird off the ground with no wind. Now, it looks like we have a Bonanza, but it's not really a Bonanza. It's most likely something else. A little bit of a model matching issue, which hopefully comes standard in Flight Sim 2024. I think that's like one of the biggest things asked about is, why do I see this if it's actually that? That's just model matching. It happens. We try as hard as we can to get rid of all the model matching issues. But even with, meticulous accuracy that we try to get, sometimes you'll have one slip in there. And it could just be someone, at the event, that saw all these people here and wanted to come check it out. And you see here, down here, thanks to our great sponsors, Thrustmaster. They are here at the eSTOL competition, so if you get a chance to stop into their booth, I heard they have like a new throttle base or something out, some new stuff that's like not even out yet, so you probably get a chance to try it over at the Thrustmaster booth.
Maybe so.
if they ever let me out of here, and no, it won't. But definitely when we get done, though, I'm gonna have to stop over to the Thrustmaster booth and try out. I want to try out everything here.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I hope they don't like close down early or anything tonight, because like I'm gonna keep this place open till like 2:30, like I did last night.
Okay. Yeah.
No,
Come on,
like
let's go.
last night we left at like 2:30. I was actually up on top of the trailer. I had to do one last thing on top of the trailer, and there was like, I think it was Aerosoft or something over there. And they were still kind of getting their stuff around. I think Microsoft was kind of shuffling out at the end of the night. They had a lot to set up. So there was still people in here at like 3:30 in the morning doing the last-minute touches to get their stuff together. But it looks like everybody got it together today wonderfully. So we're on board with Smitty. Riley Wilson, that's Puffsley. He works for Threshold magazine. He says, Got Friends is easily one of the best developers in the sim right now. I don't know. I mean, there couldn't be a more true statement than that. I mean, Got Friends, their aircraft are amazing. Those guys have grown. Like, I remember when I first came around into the sim 16 months or so ago, they had stuff on flightsim.to. And then they built their website, and, watching them guys go from, like, a couple freeware aircraft, maybe a couple payware aircraft, to, like, their vast, array. They've got warbirds, they've got helicopters, they've got Bush aircraft, and all of it is done with that, like, boutique touch to it. That feel of, like, they care about their aircraft. So Puffsley from the chat, from the YouTube chat, says, Got Friends, definitely one of the best developers. I agree. So Smitty focusing up. He's got a little bit of he's got a notch, maybe 2 notches of flaps in. He's starting to slow down well before final, but he knows what he's doing. He's trying to get slowed down as quick as possible, or as early as possible, so he can come in with the least amount. We know there's no wind, so you got to do something to get stopped, and so he's taking the approach of early slowdown, and I think that is the way to go.
Yeah. Oh.
Little throttle there.
Yeah,
Keep her in the
almost dropped
sky.
the wing. He's down there on the bottom.
He's
the very
flying,
bottom of the flap arc.
Yeah, and he's flying as slow as he can, and with no wind, you gotta.
Oh, yeah,
sometimes it's
he
a
needs to
struggle
stay
to
away
keep
from
it
40.
afloat. I mean, this isn't a boat in the water. This is an airplane in the sky. It's not just going to float. You got to keep that thing floating. So Smitty's coming in with no wind, full flaps. He's got it evened out, though, now. And remember, guys, Smitty is here live with us on the floor. He's not in his normal setup. I don't want to keep reminding him of that. No, he's probably like, shut up. He's like, don't keep reminding me of that. No. Beautiful approach here from Smitty.
Oh.
There we go, though.
Yeah,
no stall.
Oh, well.
Oh, and nose over. Hey, but he saves from the bruises of being at home. Well,
the poor camera guy is toast.
That's all right. That's why we do it in the sim, That's why we do it in the sim here.
It looks like our Navion or Bonanza buddy did the exact same thing, so.
Yes. Yeah, but it happens. I mean, we try to keep it as realistic to real life as possible and safe as possible. But sometimes that does happen, and I think it's kind of human. We know we're in a sim. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it's not like we have those strict parameters. But the real life national STOL events. I mean, those guys are professionals, and they have a great safety record. So Smitty. Can we get some couple hand claps and cheers for Smitty? Hey, I'm just clapping because you tried it here without your setup. I mean, that's.
I can't fly this.
Yeah, you got to be used to your setup,
It's even the wrong hands.
Yeah, is it really?
I have my thumb on this side.
Oh, you do.
The backwards pedal. It's so different.
I know. I'm the same way, Smitty. I
had to shut off the Toby right away.
Yeah.
I don't know what was going on there.
Hey. I think that's live.
So Smitty's going to
Yeah.
say hi to you
Hey,
guys
everybody.
real quick.
Yeah, this is really tough for me. Like, I'm coming from force feedback, stick pedals, motion, VR. It's really hard to fly on a sprung joystick, backwards hands, funny little pedals. And the visuals is quite different from what I'm used to. I found it. If you saw my stream, I was doing it in the third, the camera view, just because I've tried that before. You can really see your wheels and how far away they are from the runway. A lot easier. So I tried that, but the controls, they got me all screwed up. So
Yeah.
good luck to whoever can compete tomorrow, but it's not going to be me.
Well, hey, you got a lot more. I think we have like 5 or 6 more events to go, and you have some season points, right?
Yeah,
Where's your standings
third,
right
I
now?
think.
Third
Yeah.
place, season points? All right,
I
man.
don't know. Did I get one?
And,
Did I at least get one round in? I don't even know. Where am I?
Oh, let's see.
Probably not.
I'll have to get back with you and let you know,
I don't know.
but I think you did. I think you
It was
the
like
first
300
round,
or something. Yeah.
I think the first round you had
I
just
think the first round you did.
somewhere around 300 or something.
Where are we at?
But
Touring.
definitely interesting. We'll try to pull up the video so everybody can see what
you
you normally
Oh, yeah.
compete
I did
in.
get something. Excellent.
So
446 first round.
446, and then a couple DQs, but no worries. Hey, thanks for coming here,
Absolutely.
competing though, and supporting the eSTOL stuff. Like I said, without the pilots, we wouldn't have this to do.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
thanks for
Cool.
competing, Smitty.
All right. Thanks, guys.
And we'll talk to you soon. But yeah, we'll see if we can pull up the video. I don't know if we'll be able to or not. I know sometimes, with a broadcast and things like that, a lot of times you got to have that stuff ready. I think we need to just get that, download it, and just keep it on.
For part of the National eSTOL.
Keep it as like canned footage,
Yeah.
Now this is a new livery I haven't seen. Oh, this is the Bagaloo 172. But why is the tail up like
The
that?
tail up. He's got full power.
Okay, so we have Ray on PC1, and it looks like it might be a model matching issue. Which,
okay.
like I said, we try as diligently as we can to get rid of most of those issues. You'll still see 1 or 2 of them here, and it happens. But we'll tell you that he's in the 172, and he is competing here live from the floor on PC1. And you said, I think we said this was Ray. There we go. So there's the right model. And we have another pink one. Who do you think that is? It's got to be Kat, right?
That's
In her
gotta be
701. So as we wait for the 172 to take off, take a look behind there. It looks like we got another Red Barons going again in the 170B in the back of the pack. I think that's Victor Vosser there, and third from the line. Second from the line is Kat in her usual plane, the 701 from SWS. SWS has been a sponsor of National eSTOL in the past. They have a booth here as well, so make sure to check them out. Go say hi to Alex. And I think Raul from FSR is hanging out over there too, so make sure to stop at their booth here and say hello to them. Maybe check out their wonderful aircraft. I fly a lot of the SWS stuff.
Nice long takeoff roll.
Long takeoff roll, but I think we'll see a couple more tries from them. And as usual, they get better and better every time. Cat's pulling up. Now, you'll probably see some magic here. This is the SWS 701. It's been the leader of the pack of Unlimited. It really hasn't had a lot of competition.
Nice 60-foot takeoff maybe.
Yeah, the only thing I think that's going to compete with it now is going to be the new competition variant of the Kit Fox from Parallel 42. And we've seen a couple people switch over to that, going from the 701 being basically number one. We're going to see now some competition with the 701. And so but it's I still don't know if anything can beat the 701. It's been the number one aircraft. It's going to shock me to see anything beat that. Hey, Alex, what's going on, man? Yeah, you guys got to make sure to stop in and see Alex, though. They do have a booth over there, so make sure to stop in and see them, guys. And they have been great sponsors of National eSTOL, so please stop in and see them. I think they're just across from us, so make sure to stop in and see them. And Alex did stop in here, and yes, 701 is number one in the Unlimited class. We got Red Baron taking off. He's mowing the grass again. I think he's opening up a lawn care business, too. No, I'm just joking. Red Baron's one of those guys that like has so much going on. He's an A&P mechanic. He's in flight school. He's doing eSTOL. He streams on Twitch. Red Baron flies on Twitch. We gotta support those guys. Streaming on Twitch, it's a lot of fun. If you haven't done it, you haven't gotten into a group flight, doesn't matter if it's my stream or Red Baron or Norcali or whoever, just get into one of those group flights on Twitch, and that's how you get into this bush world. That's the way I got into it. With the Candonians. So make sure to check out some group flights on Twitch. There's really some great choices on there to watch and fly with. We got the Got Friends booth here. Everybody's hanging out, having a good time. If you haven't stopped in there, hey, we've got a wave from Jonks. What's going on, buddy? If you haven't stopped in to see them yet, please stop in to see them. They do have a sweepstakes or like a giveaway going on. It's pretty simple. You just walk up to their iPad, and you simply just type in a couple things there, and boom, you're going to be in their giveaway. And they've got some pretty cool stuff in the giveaway. It's all shown in a case here, and I think there's like some talk of like a lifetime access to all their stuff from their website. Okay. So make sure to check them out. Huge supporters of National eSTOL from the beginning. And so we much appreciate those guys. So what do we have here on the picture just in the screen? A couple of helmets out there. What are those helmets? What's about those helmets? I mean, what are they for, like snowmobiling or something like that? No,
I mean,
aviation helmets. But
you could probably use them for snowmobiling.
Tell us a little bit about that. What are those? I mean, do you ever see anybody wearing those at the real life events or?
Yeah, at the real events, it's actually one of the rules. It's actually in the rule book that you have to have a helmet.
Safety first.
And at least the shoulder straps for your aircraft. We have a scratch right here. But yeah, we've got Lift Aviation, which is one of our sponsors for National STOL.
One of the National STOL sponsors?
Yep. Actually, those are two of Lift Aviation.
So what if you're here and you want to buy one of those helmets? I mean, could you do that? Or are those just for show?
Those are definitely for show for us right now, but I mean, if you wanted to purchase a Lift Aviation helmet, you totally can. I don't know. I'd probably walk around here and rock it.
I would ask Karen. I had it on earlier. I definitely did. I was sitting at the PC spot number 3 here. Yeah. I put it on. I was trying to figure out how to get it to work with my glasses, but I just pushed my glasses on a little more, and then I had that on, and it felt good, Yeah. Like I felt like I was really in a plane.
Did the Toby work with the visor on?
Actually, it did.
Yeah, because it's IR. It should work.
So, and I don't use the eye tracking for this instance in bush flying and stuff like that because my head is already going to be tracked. So I'm looking around with my eyes where I need to look, and my head's kind of directing. So I turned the eye tracking all the way off with it. But I'm sure there's great applications for using the eye tracking, just not for what I'm using it for. So we have an approach here.
We just had Kat. Which looked like she scored a 40-foot or a 20-foot landing. I'm not very sure.
20-foot landing in the SWS 701? Yes, definitely. And she is very, very practiced and talented in that plane. Like you saw her in the double under. She had some great landings. But the 701 is like her baby. That's been her plane since day one. She, I think she's like sponsored by SWS too. There's a few of our pilots that are sponsored by developers. So if you want to get into the mix of that kind of stuff, I mean, that's definitely something that you can do as a pilot, is reach out to some of these developers and tell them, hey, I want to fly your plane, in the eSTOL competitions.
That was a 24-foot landing from her.
24-foot from Kat. So Red Baron coming in, a little slip here, which is pretty common with the 170B.
Ooh, dropped it in there.
Shout
out to Chris Williams for shouting out to the production crew.
Oh, Chris Williams, he's our Embraer pilot. He's He's the guy that was we met him at Swamp STOL, and he's I think he just got a new job at like United or something like that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So he goes from Mesa to United, which I got to meet Chris and talk to him, so shout out to you, Chris. Good to see you, man. Thanks for stopping into the stream and everything. He actually took the time to come fly the FSS Embraer, the 175. FSS is here, too, somewhere.
Okay.
But he actually took the time to come do like a dual cockpit thing with me and on my stream. And so
that's
I'm not
awesome.
an airliner guy, but if I got a chance to fly a simulator plane with a real airliner pilot, why not? You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially if it's done so well like the FSS 175 is. This looks like a gravel or a carbon there. So a little trivia: does anybody know what that pull, that red plunger pull is for, in a carbon cub?
What are we looking at?
So in the carbon cub, there is like a to top left side. There's like a red plunger that you could pull, and for the longest time, I wondered what that was. It's actually for a parachute. I didn't know they had parachutes. But what I don't understand about it is it's locked. So, like, how are you going to get in there and unlock it if you actually need to pull the parachute? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's because you aviate and you actually land the airplane instead of pulling the parachute.
Exactly.
That was a dig.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like it could lead to like over reliance and stuff like that. But you know, you got Cirrus who does the whole parachute thing, and I mean, I guess I've seen it work on some YouTube videos and stuff like that. But it makes you wonder though, did they actually need to pull it? You know what I mean? But I can't say I don't think about putting a parachute on every time I get on an airliner. You know, like I would wear one definitely, but I don't. But you know, so I think Kat's going to do a go around. Doesn't seem like she thought that landing was going to be safe, so Kat's going to do a go-around, and...
Yeah, I think that was takeoff.
Oh, that was takeoff.
We have 42-foot takeoff.
Oh, she took off so fast I didn't even see her take off.
I saw, it happened to me a little while ago as well.
So we have, coming in, a Bonanza. It's not really a Bonanza. I think it's still the Navion from Hangar Studios. I don't know if Hangar's here or not, but Hangar Studios is one of the developers that I work with and do promotion of their stuff. Great dude, great developer, and he's working on the Navion series right now. So check his aircraft out. You could, I think they're only $9.99, so get them in the Flight Sim store or on many of the stores like Orbix or any of the stores that you go to. You'll find the Navion there somewhere. And so we have here Vinny working with a couple people trying to get them informed on what our buttons are and stuff like that, because you got to remember, everybody who's coming up here and trying this, they're trying this on a setup that's not their own. So
yeah,
I don't know if they're anything like me. I know exactly where my buttons are, and it's like muscle memory, so you need a little direction. So Vinny's here doing our direction. And finally, there's the back of that shirt, by the way. That's the official National eSTOL FSEXPO shirt. You can pick it up from Karen here at our merch booth, so make sure to check it out. And I'm just waiting for somebody to walk by with that straw hat on.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man,
It's still sitting over there.
I need to get me one of those straw hats.
Probably have some B-roll with Reese or Brennan wearing it.
Yeah. I think, who's the guy that's, like, making all the splash at the National STOL competition? Like, the shirtless guy? Like, who's this shirtless guy?
Well, there's a couple of them.
A couple of them?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
It's like a big shirtless.
Big shirtless.
Like
Rod Hewitt. Rod Hewitt. He's one. John McCardle is another one.
So what's the deal? What's the story behind like the shirtless? Is this like something that organically happened, or like is one guy started and people are like, I
think Rod just likes to show off his abs. I mean,
if
I had abs like that, dude, I'd show them off too.
Yeah, I don't have abs. Not even
everybody has abs. It's just a layer of fat on top of them.
Well, right, yeah, I have them. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't be able to sit up, and I'll probably be like killed over the desk if I actually didn't have abs. But yeah, you just can't see them unless I was, like lost a couple of pounds. But I mean, I'm good, Like even when I was lifting weights and stuff like that before I got married, I've been with my wife for a long time. But even when I was lifting weights, before I got married and stuff, and before I was all concerned about how big I could get and stuff like that. I mean, I was like 205. I'm like 189 or so now, and I never had abs even back then, so I don't think you'll catch me with my shirt off, unless it's in the hotel room, of course. So now, I don't know who this pilot is, but they're just in a regular 172, white 172. Trying to figure out who that is. Oh, so that's Ray in a 172, someone competing from the floor here. And forgive me, but I haven't actually done any calling out of that because we were talking about the shirtless guy. So, But it seems like Ray is at least landing, on runway heading, and so we'll have to pay attention to his next round and give him some credit for coming out here and trying. We have Kat here coming in nice and slow in this SWS 701. She is sponsored by SWS, so she is a sponsored pilot. And she has been pretty steadfast with the 701. She's very good in it. She's probably the best 701 pilot there is. And if you think you are better, then step up and come prove it. I swear, I don't know if anybody can beat Kat, but if you think you can, come on up and try. And we'll see if you can get in tomorrow and, maybe give Kat a whooping in the unlimited class.
Yeah, we look like we have
Kat's
somewhere around the 70-foot landing, somewhere around there.
If Kat's watching right now, she's totally shaking her head saying, not going to happen, not going to happen. But, I mean, I think, honestly, Kat's only ever been beat when she was disqualified. I mean, she's really that good. But, I mean, she's the type of person that will be practicing days before the event, and, it's nonstop. I mean, she treats it like real life.
Uh-oh, gear, gumps. Gumps check.
Okay, probably a multiplayer.
Okay.
Probably a multiplayer thing, because, again.
Okay, there they are.
Yeah.
Here we go.
See, that's another. So we need better model matching. Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. I hope it has it. I imagine we're going to see better model matching for sure. That's big. I think Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. I'm sure we'll find out more about that this weekend. Mm-hmm. But I know that I've heard from several people that they're going to focus more on the multiplayer aspect of it, because you wouldn't believe how much fun it is going on a group flight. It's like I ride motorcycles. I have a Harley, and most of my friends have sold their bike now, so I really don't ride as much anymore. But I don't know, 5 years ago we had group flights, and that's what it reminds me of. In the simulator, we all get together and fly around in the backcountry. Yeah. So there are plenty of streams doing that on Twitch. Just stop into Twitch on any random night and look for someone who's not buried in the dash of an A320, and you'll find a good group to fly with. So we do it here on Burstix TV. You've got the Candonians, the Norcalis. There's a bunch of different streams to check out. So please get into a group flight if you haven't yet. This is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And that's how a lot of people find, the eSTOL, actually.
Yeah. And it's one place where 8 hours from bottle to throttle doesn't apply.
Yeah, so you can have a couple beers while you're doing it.
Yeah. Now, the real pilots don't drink out of bottles.
No?
Yeah, drink out of cans.
Yeah,
that
right.
Way the rule doesn't apply to you.
Oh, right? Oh, yeah, there you go.
That is a joke.
No, yes. It's funny. Okay. So, guys, we have about 35 minutes left of the broadcast we'll be doing. So Cam and I will be here for another 35 minutes. And then after that, we're going to continue the qualifying, but the broadcast is no longer going to be on. So if you guys were you didn't want to be on TV, but you still want to qualify, well, in about 35 minutes is your chance to come up. And I think we're going until 3 o'clock for the qualifier. So we have roughly 25 pilots that are 20 to 25 pilots that are competing online. And then I think we're taking another 20 or so from today's competition. So, while you guys are flying here.
Uh-oh, Kat. Okay.
Kat's showing off. Jesus, no one's beating me. I'll land upside down. Wow. She is so spunky. Oh, my gosh. Having her in the stream, oh, man, she's on me like white on rice when, if I don't answer my Twitch chat in a few minutes. She's the spunkiest person. She's there. She's going to make sure she's there. It's nice to see all these booths filled up. You've seen the Got Friends booths filled up. You've seen the National eSTOL booths filled up. And everybody on those booths are going to be doing some qualifying for National eSTOL. So remember, guys, if you're here on the floor, anybody can walk up and do some qualifying. And even if you do bad, you could do good and get in the competition tomorrow to win some more stuff. But even if you do bad, you still get in for the Tobii iTracker 5. Tomorrow we're going to be giving away a Thrustmaster. We can't say exactly what it is just now, but we're going to be giving away something from Thrustmaster tomorrow, and it is amazing. So that'll be for the people that make it into the qualifier. So if you want to get in the mix, get over here and do some qualifying. And Kat, defying the laws of physics and gravity and life and every other thing under the sun.
Well, she got that down right on the line, looks like.
In the 701. Actually, now remember, this year the rules have changed. So
wait, is that not 20 feet, or is that?
Did she land? I think
she passed. She passed the start-finish line.
Okay, so she didn't scratch. Okay.
Nope.
So, but yeah, guys, and also those QR codes, they're in the flight sim. They're in the scenery that's in the store. But you can actually scan those, and they'll work just like it was in real life. So if you need to see anything from Toby or Flight Sim Association, FSEXPO, huge shout out to FSEXPO. This is the first time I've ever been here, and it's amazing. Thrustmaster, all sponsors of the National eSTOL FSEXPO event, Parallel 42 and Got Friends, and Classic Aircraft Simulation. A couple, if you have this scenery and you look around, you'll see that all the characters in the scenery are people from real life. So see if you can see who's who. If you recognize anybody from maybe a stream, or you recognize anybody from seeing them here at the expo, because some of the people that are in this scenery are here at the expo too. I see one right now here that I met. Frankie Popo, a.k.a. Frankie Poops, one of our pilots. And I see him there in the scenery. It's pretty cool because, I met him here for the first time this weekend, and he looks exactly like that, which is shocking because, our scenery guy made that. It's pretty cool.
Looks like we're looking on the inside of a de Havilland Beaver.
Yes, the Beaver. And I think, the Beaver is great. It's a regular flight sim aircraft. So, if you have the flight sim, you have the Beaver. It was done by, I think, Blackbird or Milvis at the time.
Okay.
But Got Friends, so they did a great job on it, but Got Friends actually put a bush tire pack on it. So if you're wondering, how does that have those bush tires on there? Well, you got to go to got-friends.com/burstix and go ahead and grab the 40th anniversary pack that they did. And throw that in your community folder, and boom, you have the bush tires on the Beaver now. Is that another landing from Kat?
Another landing from Kat.
Wow. And, I guess it's going to be a little different, too, because now this is our first runway that's asphalt.
Okay.
And I know that it's kind of hard to really understand all the differences, but I know that each surface has different frictions and things like that. And they've even changed that a little more since Sim Update 15, where there's even more differences between the surface, the ground, the grass, and all these different surfaces that you can find in the flight sim. So Kat looks like she did some more work on the livery. She's changed it quite a bit, but she's got her sponsorships on there, all the stickers. I really like that. Can we see the other side? Oh, no, she's got her trophies on there and everything. So it looks like they're going to go to the other side. And so those are all the stickers of the events that she's competed in. I love the way she's done that. That's so cool. That's real life.
It's a Flying Nalgene bottle.
That is so cool. CRZ Studio, she has on there on the side. I think they're doing the Chinook. So, if you know Dan Reynolds flies the green and white Chinook. I know you know him, but so Dan Reynolds flies the Chinook, and it's just a light aircraft. It's in the unlimited class, and so CRZ Studio is actually doing that. And I actually had the opportunity to meet Dan when I went to Swamp STOL, and Dan was all for. I was like, "Hey Dan, can I take some pictures for the developer that's doing your plane?" He's like, "Yeah, sure. You want me to run the flaps for you? You want me to?" So if you get out to one of these real life national eSTOL or national STOL events. And you get a chance to meet the pilots. They're all awesome people. Played guitar with Levi Nogues.
Yeah.
So, guys, make sure you get out to a real National STOL event. If you stop and see Karen, she has a list of all the locations of all the next National STOL events in real life where they fly real airplanes. And those are just as much fun as the eSTOL events. So even if you're not, if you've never been to an air show or anything like that before, which actually Swamp STOL was my first air show, it was a blast. One of the funnest things I've done. So we got a Wilga pulling up to the line. And we have about 27 minutes left of the stream. Now, again, the qualifying is going to go on past the stream, but we're just going to Cam and I, we need to take a little break and go check out some of the stuff, at least at some point today. So they're giving us a little break. But the qualifying will go through till 3 p.m. Actually, past 3 p.m.
No, we got 13:33 right now.
Oh, I'm looking at the wrong time here. So it's 1:33 in the afternoon in Las Vegas time.
Yes.
Okay.
Some Pacific Daylight
Oh, we got
time.
Kando sitting down at the Got Friends booth. What's he going to do? I wonder if Kando's doing the qualifier. I think he said he was going to do it. Got the nice Candonians jersey. He's looking fine as ever.
Yeah.
With that, look at that stash. I might have to grow a stash out now. I might have to grow a stash out. But I can't. It wouldn't be red though, so it wouldn't be the same. But to be honest though, the reason that I'm sitting here honestly is because I found that stash, and when he had his mullet, I was looking for someone flying a helicopter on Twitch, and I saw that, and it was so shocking. I was like, I need to see what's going on with this guy. So that's how I found out about bush flying. I mean, obviously, I grew up down the road from an airport. I knew about aviation, but I didn't know anything about fixed wing. I was a helicopter guy.
I got some.
Hey, someone else is flying upside down. Who is that?
In the Wilga.
That was steady as the. That was steady hands right there.
I don't think the Wilga in real life has inverted oil and fuel, but.
Well, I don't know. You have to ask. Got Friends would know, but they might not have the realism on, because that does actually have a realism checkbox, which as a pilot in the sim you could turn that on and off. But whoever that is,
that's some very talented flying going on.
Steady hands. You should get into some stock trading, maybe some Bitcoin.
Oh,
something like that.
Inside. Okay.
We need to find out who this is. Man, they just that's like some steady
showing
flying.
out.
No, I haven't seen Frankie. I know Frankie's still got to do his qualifier today, so I haven't seen him. I don't know if he's gonna stop in and do the qualifier or not. We'll have to wait and see. So again, we have a full booth. We have looks like a young man there at the booth 1, doing some flying, getting into some STOL. So
yeah, it looks like he's about to choose a 172 if I'm looking at the right screen.
There we go. Yeah, as far as the qualifier goes, I mean, 172 is a great aircraft to just hop into, and it's pretty simple. It's the
number one high wing training aircraft, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's a classic. It's the Cessna, This Wilga is flying so smooth. I'm telling you, steady hands, steady hands.
Now, what's interesting is this Wilga looks like it may be just a visual appearance because of the livery that they've chosen, but it looks like it's got larger flaps than the last one that we saw. It might just be kind of a visual deal, but it.
Oh, scratch.
Oh.
So all that beautiful flying, only to scratch by about 5 feet, but that's not to take away from the beautiful flying. Do we know who's in this white Wilga? We got to find out so we can tell you guys.
This is a very Dan Reynolds-esque landing where you do all the work to come up short right at the line.
Right.
Doesn't happen all the time, but
some of Dan's landings, and watching Dan Reynolds practice in real life STOL in his Chinook. The day before, he was doing some takeoffs, and he was flying adjacent to a helicopter, but he was in his airplane, his fixed wing airplane, and he was almost hovering. There's a helicopter there actually hovering, and then you have Dan who's ascending, and he almost stopped in the air and was hovering because it was really windy that day. And it was wow, Dan can hover just like a helicopter in his aircraft.
Oh, FAA enters the chat.
Yes. Who said that? It was a YouTube comment?
Yeah.
Bearded Aviator. Bearded
Yeah.
Aviator, thank you for the comment. Thanks for letting us know the FAA has entered the chat. We'll keep her clean
some
from here on out.
Inverted Wilga action on base.
I didn't see who was that comment? Was this a Kev?
Bearded Aviator.
Oh, Victor. So what I just have witnessed that Wilga doing.
Amazing
Victor,
flying.
One of our eSTOL pilots commenting all the way from Poland. Looks like we had another comment coming there from. Did I just hear someone talking about Mr. Poops? Yes. We're wondering where Frankie's at. I don't know. Maybe I missed him, but I haven't seen Frankie here yet to qualify, and he's supposed to qualify today. So we'll see what happens. And
we got some.
I think I just heard someone in the crowd talking about someone doing donuts in the Beaver. Yeah, sometimes the pilots like to show off. I mean, they do that from time to time, especially if you're a Cat or whoever that was in the Wilga.
Oh no, I think that was a repositioning donut that didn't work out.
Oh, hey, that's all right. I mean, hey, the more donuts, the better. It looks like. Okay, so now the Yellow Beaver is on the line. I don't know which.
It's number 2.
Also, who is that Wilga? The white Wilga? Do we know who that is? So we don't have any clarification on who the white Wilga was. It's just, I guess, a mystery man or woman.
It was. Who was it? Bobby Holly.
Bobby Holly?
Yeah.
Really?
Rob Holland.
Rob Holland? I don't know. It could be. All right.
Good flying.
Looks like we have a little pilot cam action going on here from that yellow Beaver. I really like the Beaver and the flight sim, especially when you get the Got Friends add-on with the bush wheels. And it's kind of led me down when I first heard about it anyway, it kind of led me down like a rabbit hole of YouTube videos. And I found that there's like a fleet of electric beavers out there in the world.
There's all kinds of beavers for sure.
Right. Yeah, I never would have guessed that a plane from like the 30s or something, they have the electric conversion kit. They got Elon Musk down there underneath there wrenching on it. No, I don't know. Elon Musk didn't have anything to do with it, but Beaver is taken off. And I think that is booth number 2 here on the floor. Nice. Kerry Morgan, nice flap work.
With a 256-foot takeoff.
256-foot takeoff in the big old beast known as the Beaver. Shout out to Primus.
Shout out to Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford? Does he fly a Beaver?
He's got a Beaver.
Hey, and also, anybody got Harrison Ford's ME's number? Because I need to get me a PPL. Coming up to the line, we got a Savage Gravel. So this plane is a Got Friends plane. It's a freeware if you're on PC. And, again, their website is got-friends.com/Burstix is my code, but you can just go to got-friends.com. They have a bunch of good freeware aircraft there. If you're in the flight sim on Xbox, though, they still have the ability to get these aircraft. And I think you get like 6 aircraft for $4.99. So we have takeoff.
Oh, yeah, fantastic takeoff.
Now, Cam, you might not know this, but this plane here has nitrous boost as well.
Okay.
So they really, this plane, you don't even need wind. You create your own wind with this plane. The nitrous and all that thrust, you're off the ground whether there's wind or not. And that is probably one of my favorite aircraft to fly in the flight simulator of the like freeware category.
Yeah.
It's freeware, but it's done so well. It is made so well that it's like, I would pay $20 for that aircraft.
Okay.
If I had to. If someone took it away from me, I'd pay $20 right now for it.
All right, then we had our mystery Wilga pilot just take off.
Piloted by Riff Raff. Oh, Riff Raff. Oh, okay. Riff Raff is one of the people that hangs out in my stream, hangs out in the Sid group flight stream as well. That's actually how I met Riff Raff. But Riff Raff is working on an awesome aircraft. I don't know if he's here, but he's working on like the double Su-26.
We got a scratch from Carrie on the in the Beaver.
I gotta look this up. But have you ever seen that aerobatic aircraft? It's like a double Su-26.
It's a double Yak. It's called the
double Yak.
The Yak 110.
The Yak 110.
Yak 55.
So the mystery man in the Wilga, if that is in fact Riff Raff, he's actually working on that airplane.
Oh,
and
okay.
he's doing a really good job of it too. I was surprised. He's brand new to it, but he took a lot of time to learn Blender and all the tools that you need to make an aircraft, and doing a great job on it. So I'm excited to see that when it comes out. I'll be flying it on my stream, that's for sure. Man, it's great to see the expo hall bustling all over the place. No matter what you're doing in flight sim, if you're looking for airliner aviation or bush, bush backcountry. GA, military planes. I mean, there's simulators here from X-Plane to there was a combat simulator I wanted to take a look at later. I think it's called Combat Pilot. Anybody in the crowd know what
I walked by
that's?
that booth earlier. It's pretty nice.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Do they have where you can test it at all? Or?
I think so.
Okay, I need to go over to that booth after we're done here in about 15 minutes for our broadcast.
All
nice.
right. Oh.
Oh, nose over.
Oh.
That's okay. That's okay. He's safe. Now, I will say one thing as a tip. If you're going to fly the Savage Gravel, it has that nitrous. It looks like he turned it off. But when you're flying the Savage Gravel, one of the biggest things you don't want to forget to do is turn off the nitrous as soon as you get off the ground, basically. Because then you will never forget to turn it off when you get back around. Because the thrust, it's got thrust that keeps on going.
Oh, yeah.
So don't leave the nitrous on. Looks like we have Vinny getting the young man on pilot 1, Dashel. And he's going to go ahead and try. I think we said that was a 172. Vinny's getting him hooked up. We have
Carrie's back out here in the Beaver, lining up on the line.
And if you're wondering why is the scenery so beautiful, it's because it was done by our very own in-house national eSTOL scenery developer. His name is Anov, and he's from Switzerland. And you can pick up our national eSTOL Flight Sim Expo official scenery right in the store, right in the Microsoft Flight Sim store. So it's only $4.99. Try to keep them as low price as possible.
We got Riff Raff on final with Carrie on the line. This wouldn't happen in real life, but oh yeah, it looks like we've got good separations, no factor.
Here we go. What do you say? So we do have about 15 minutes until the live stream ends, so me and Cam can get a little break and walk around and check everything out. But we are going to be here still doing qualifiers, so if you want to get in on the Toby giveaway, you want to get a Toby Eye Tracker 5 for free, or maybe you just want to try a Toby. Maybe you don't care about STOL, but you're like, I want to try that Toby.
Yeah, I tried it.
Stop
It was
in.
awesome.
There is a Toby booth, but we also have a bunch of Tobys over here, so come on and check these out. We still have until 3 p.m. here that we're going to be doing the qualifiers. And anybody who qualifies, no matter how good or bad you do, you get put into the giveaway for the Toby. And then tomorrow we have a special giveaway from Thrustmaster, and that's only going to be for the people that make it in to the into the actual event tomorrow. So the only way you can make it in is by doing the qualifier. So if you want to get in on some giveaways, we have some plane giveaways from Classic Aircraft Simulations. Just a real special plane that I randomly found, the J3 Cub. Had no clue it was coming out, so it's a nice aircraft. So we're going to be giving away a few of those tomorrow for some of the winners. It looks like we have the gravel taken off with the nitrous. I don't know, that take us a little longer than the last one. I wonder maybe he didn't use the nitrous that time.
We'll say we've got shout out to that livery on there. on that aircraft for Scrappy.
Yeah, that's actually I think was the idea behind the development of this aircraft was kind of to the shout out to the Mike Patey's Scrappy.
Okay.
If I'm correct, I mean, if I was wrong, I know the Got Friends guys are like right there. They would let me know. But yeah, the gravel, which is the one that you guys just saw take off, it's free. Get it at got-friends.com, and it's just as good as even better than some of the Payware aircraft you find out there.
And that was an 82-foot takeoff
Is that
from Daniel in the
Oh,
Savage
wow.
gravel.
Is that must be Pete. So Pete is another one of our sponsored eSTOL pilots. He's sponsored by Parallel 42. And what you're seeing there, guys, is the Parallel 42 competition Series 5 Kit Fox made specifically for competition. That's why it's called the competition Kit Fox. And there are some differences if you're familiar with the regular Parallel 42 Kit Fox. If you have that, well, then you will have the competition one as long as you've updated the most recent update. But a couple differences. It's the engine is still the same Stage 2 engine, but it has less weight. As your nose or your engine cover is gone, and you don't have any doors, so there's weight taken out there. And then also your flaps, right? You have now a 45-degree flap that really acts as a couple of barn doors dropping off of the back of that wing. I mean, it'll really stop you. It will really stop you. So, but this plane is nothing to mess around with unless you are up for a challenge, because this plane has less weight, more power than you know what to do with. So you really, really got to practice with it. But give yourself a couple hours, and you could probably get pretty darn good in it. But doesn't that look beautiful without the engine cover? I love the way that looks. And I actually had the opportunity to fly this a little bit early, so I had a lot of people come into the flight sim stream I do on Twitch, twitch.tv/BurstixTV. Come in for a group flight and come hang out with us. And we do 4 days a week. But I had a chance to fly this a little bit early, and there was a lot of interest in this aircraft. There was so many questions asked and stuff like that. When does it come out? When does it come out? And finally it came out. And so if you do own the Kit Fox already, the Kit Fox Complete Pack from Parallel 42, you have that variant that you just saw right there. As long as you've updated it recently. And a shot of the floor here. Oh, we have some spectators over there. Shout out to the people spectating in the chairs over there. Appreciate you guys stopping in and hanging out with us. Shout out to all the people that did the qualifiers today. And it looks like we might have... I don't know. I think that might... Oh, I guess we're saying that does count.
Oh, yeah, we're going to... Yeah, we'd measure from the split, or from the furthest wheel.
So
from the line.
Had a little bit of a ground loop there, but I guess it counts as it's going to be from the furthest wheel. And we have a 172 here on the field. I think this is booth number 1 here on the floor. Dashel. So Dashel's the young man at the number 1 eSTOL pilot booth here on the floor.
Should be taking off in this 172.
And he looks focused and ready to go.
Furthest from the camera.
Probably looks like his dad probably helping him out over there. We had Vinny giving some direction earlier, so a little have a father bringing the son out to the expo. That's awesome to see that kind of stuff. I mean, aviation. I mean, you can start pretty young into aviation, especially if you get into the flight sim.
Oh yeah.
And so that's pretty cool to have a dad that like supports that kind of stuff. And
he looks like he's also part of the Civil Air Patrol. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a couple viewers that did the Civil Air Patrol.
Yeah.
I don't know much about it, but I know that Kodak, and I think one of my viewers named Kodak did the Civil Air Patrol. Oh, that's interesting. I'll have to look into that and see more about the Civil Air Patrol. I'm not too familiar with it. I know of it, though.
Yeah, they're an auxiliary of the U.S. Air Force. They do a lot of work with the Air Force. I've got a F-16, a Viper flying friend that recently had some work with them.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
So
they'll practice their intercepts with the Civil Air Patrol. So he's actually a pilot out of Homestead, flying F-16s, but they will practice their intercepts for whenever.
So are they the decoy, or they're the one intercepting in the Civil Air Patrol?
They're the ones getting intercepted. So they'll
Wow.
fly. They have a fleet of 172s, 182s.
Oh wow!
They're all decked out
That's
with like
awesome.
G1000s. Like they have very good equipment in those aircraft, and they do search and rescue on the civil side for whenever people are missing or if they're looking for anybody.
Oh wow!
They do a whole bunch of things for the community.
Cool.
that you
Well,
may
shout
not
out
know.
to the Civil Air Patrol.
Oh yeah. Find your local wing, your local squadron, and all right. looks
Okay,
like
so
we've
the
got-
172, Dash on the 172 is going to take off right now. Now, we do have a little bit of a conflict with multiplayer. It seems like they're on top of each other, actually, the Beaver in that 172, but they actually cannot see each other. So we're going to have one take off, so that way there's no more conflict here. So they're not actually, it's one of those things. Microsoft 2020 has a couple issues with multiplayer. Hopefully, that all that stuff's going to be fixed in 2024. But we still managed to put on a really good show with, some of the couple issues that we have here. But yes, they're not really on top of each other like that. And it's 172, Dashel, the young man, all the way to the left of the National eSTOL booth here, is going to take off. He's here live competing from the competition, or from the FSEXPO floor. It's kind of interesting to see how much bigger that Beaver is than the 172.
yeah.
So, guys, we have about 5 minutes left of the stream. We are going to be continuing to do the qualifiers. So if you want to get in on the action of National eSTOL, maybe you want to try out a Toby. We have a couple Tobys over here. You could try those out. Compliments of Toby.
Looks like we're going firewall forward for Dashel.
There we go. Dashel's on the move.
All right.
And just over the 100-foot line, just over the 200-foot line. Got to get those flaps down and go ahead and pull into ground effect here and then get up to. There he goes.
Right,
He's
nice
in the
pull
air.
and stick. And stall spin.
So in that scenario, basically you just want to nose over a little bit and keep the power in. You might have to nose over a lot, but like I said, we do this stuff in the sim where it doesn't matter if something like a stall spin happens, and that way you can learn from it. You know what I mean? But awesome try from the young man Dashel, and I'm sure he's going to get another try.
Absolutely.
It's all about learning. It's all about the experience. So we have the Beaver on takeoff here. It seems to be around 200-foot takeoff for the Beaver, which seems about right with no wind. It's a pretty heavy aircraft. Pulling up to the line, we have the Got Friends Savage Gravel with the nitrous. So typically you see in this aircraft like a 3-point takeoff. A lot of times you'll start with the flaps all the way down and turn the nitrous on and just kind of lift off the ground, almost all three wheels at the same time. So it'd be interesting to see how this Gravel decides to take off here. Behind that is the Carbon, also a Got Friends aircraft. Okay, so they're going with more of the lawnmower approach. So you got to get some right aileron in, and so what's happening here? I bet you they didn't have a lot of control over the rudder. So what happens is if you start spinning out like that in the Gravel, chances are you have your flaps down and you have so much thrust, but it's not going over your rudder, so you don't have any rudder control. You're going too slow to have any wind over the rudder. So the thrust is being directed down by the downward flaps. You need to, if you start spinning out in the Gravel, get rid of the nitrous and, get rid of the flaps, because then now at least your thrust from the prop is going to be blowing over your rudder, so you actually have some rudder control. So, guys, if you like what you see here and you want to try it out, go to nationalstol.com/chat. That'll get you into the Discord, into the mix with the pilots. Our pilots are really, really awesome. They are always down to do training, whether you get into a session with them online. And don't forget to stop and check out the merch table where we have shirts from today's competition, specifically for today's FSEXPO event. And check out our real-life STOL competitions. We have they're all over the country, so chances are one is going to be next to you. But the best way to get a hold of us, guys, nationalstol.com/chat, and it will direct you right toward our Discord. And don't hesitate to stop in and see us. We are having qualifiers go on a little bit longer, but it looks like Cam and I have about a minute left. Looks like a Savage Carbon or a Savage Cub. It looks like a Savage Cub taking off. That's just a stock aircraft. But nice aircraft. That was actually our first spec class aircraft where all the pilots will fly the same thing. Now we do have multiple classes. Beaver on landing, DHC-2 Beaver. A little bit of a bounce. But this is not an easy aircraft to get stopped. It's heavy.
It's also a tailwheel aircraft. Most people don't know how to operate a tailwheel aircraft.
Yeah, don't you need a special endorsement, right? A tailwheel endorsement?
You do need an endorsement.
Yeah, so they're not easy to get down on the ground and handled, but you can do it, and you can become a professional at it.
Yeah.
So we got. So I want to say, guys, we're going to wrap it up for the broadcast today, but I'm Burstix TV. You can find me on Twitch and YouTube. On Twitch, twitch.tv/BurstixTV. Thank you guys all for coming here. This is Cam.
Yep, I'm Cam Walton. You'll find me on Instagram at Cam Walton Images. And we're going to wrap up today and be back tomorrow at 11 a.m.
11 a.m. for the competition.
All right.
Tomorrow will be a little bit different. It's not going to be a qualifier type. It's going to be everybody who is actually in the competition. So good luck to everybody on winning the Toby, and good luck to everybody tomorrow at the competition. You can once again stop into nationalstol.com/chat and join the conversation on our Discord. Other than that, we'll see you guys later. Thank you for being here at FSEXPO 2024 at the National eSTOL booth.
Hey, it's Trent. Fly low, don't die. Come be my wingman and join in the adventure. Now available in the Microsoft Flight Simulator Marketplace on PC and Xbox.